different. And I love it, man, because it got me thinking. It got me thinking like I was back at school again. I don't even know where you come up with these questions. I want to know how you come up with these. You're so innovative. I'm like, look. I mean, your mind is good. Like you said, you're a history teacher, and your mind is going all over the place.
And it's also wonderful to hear people talk sanely to each other today.
You know, I've done everything. I've done, in the 80s, I did Johnny Carson. I did Merv Griffin. I did it all. You're sheer 9 or 10. You're probably 9.5.
Oh.
And 10 is, no one's perfect.
You have something amazing going with the show, and you're educating us.
I mean, I've never told anybody in public about that experience with my dad. And on your platform, I don't know why I did that, because it's so comfortable and we're talking about things that matter.
I love the little anecdote of comedy with your would you pay for it? Would you not? I love that. I love how you added that in.
We want to know each other. We want to know people's stories. That's what TKN does.
First name Michaela, last name Skinner. Welcome, my friend, to round 2 of the tournament.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
Pleasure's mine. Pleasure's mine. Absolutely.
Yeah, this was seriously such a blast. I was so excited to come on here, and yeah, it's been incredible.
Last name Ferrigno, first name Lou. Lou, welcome, my friend.
Thank you. That's the best introduction I've ever heard in my life. You know something? You need to quit the show and be my moderator.
So put your hand together for a majestic, out of this world, one-of-a-kind human being. First name Vivica, last name Fox. Welcome, my friend.
Whoa, that was an awesome introduction. Let me tell you that. I don't think I've ever had anyone read my resume with such flow.
Avi is a poet, but he doesn't know it, but his feet show it. You're unbelievable.
Last name Wilkins, first name Lenny. Lenny, welcome, my friend. Celebrity tournament.
Well, thank you for having me, and I'm excited about it. I'm looking forward to this. It should be fun.
Damn. You said it just like I wrote it.
You gave me good eargasm tonight, man. I love your voice. I love the things that you talk about.
Well, you're the best I've seen. You're the Michael Jordan or LeBron James, whoever you want to make the GOAT.
This is why your audiences love you. This is why you continue to great guests. And great guests beget great guests.
One of my friends was sharing about the Tip O'Neill, the Speaker of the House, and what a smooth voice he had. Your voice and the way you project everything and share with your heart and soul. You got an incredible gift.
I just want to do this again and again. I feel like I've made friends. And again, I've taken the competition part of it out because I've just enjoyed talking to you guys tonight.
Oh man, most definitely. This is, I think my top. I mean, because when you did the intro you gave me, I gotta give it to you. I like.
You deserve it.
It really, truly, kind of blows my mind every time when we can get this many people together, thinking, mind melding, positive, not having to agree all the time with everything. But not getting ugly about it, and not, it's just I feel like it's a microcosm of what it could be.
Did you have a nice time tonight in the green room?
I had a great time. I can't tell you how refreshing it is that somebody knows what they're doing.
You're a very interesting person. I mean, you with all this rhyming stuff, you must really put a lot of effort into this, and I would love to read or see something that you've written.
Thank you.
Because I'm sure it's really interesting.
Or not podcast. I guess it's like we're just a show now. You're a show. You're a full-blown show.
I can count my friends on one hand. Well, wait, on one finger. You.
Oh man, thank you so much, my friend. You are awesome. Don't even hang your hats on the past, because if you don't heal from what hurts you, you'll bleed on people that never even cut you to begin with. It had nothing to do with your pain.
Okay.
So
Tell him.
You guys are bringing the best out of me. That is the truth. Guys, Chris, did you have a good time? You've done a lot of interviews. Is this kind of up there for you?
Yeah. I had a great time today, Avi. I mean, because you are engaged in what is a conversation and not a performance.
Stars remind us of where we've been. They need not dictate where we're going. And I think in a way that kind of addresses this question. So in other words, I think it is almost inevitable. There's going to be pain, there's going to be scarring, there's going to be all kinds of this that's going to happen over the course of a life.
Sit at the kitchen table looking out the window for quite a period of time while the food was getting prepared, and I wish I took that time to sit down with her and ask her questions about her being a child.
This thing has drawn me out of myself and thereby drawn me into myself. But I learned a lot, and from you, Avi, I always learn something from you.
Work as hard as you can, because by working, Avi, you will keep yourself busy and get used to the grief.
Another trio of questions, now more underrated. We have Billy D. Williams, Italian men named Skippy or Unicycle.
I'm sorry, Italian men named Skippy. Put me away, Avi.
Archie Bunker, the mountain climber. Ralph Cramden, the yoga instructor, or Don Corleone, the computer repair person?
It's clearly an issue with the hard drive.
Oh, I like that.
I'm going to go Don Corleone.
I'm going for Christmas. Is it because it does create those amazing memories that I've and Sarge, I know you've been there too, because I've seen you at so many different great events for Muscular Dystrophy Association.
There is nothing that was on TV tonight that even remotely rivals what we did on this broadcast.
Hi, I'm Rick Barry, a member of the Basketball Hall of Fame and one of the NBA's top 50 players. And I'm really excited to tell you about my new relationship in the broadcasting world with the new network.
It's TKN, and a young man named Avi Klein has poured his blood, sweat, and tears into creating this new network and assembling an amazing group of individuals.
Legends from every walk of life who are just bringing their knowledge and their experience and their wisdom, and this is amazing. I feel like this is a cosmic convergence of what is most important to him, and he's such a stand-up guy.
Avi, congratulations. I don't know anybody that can talk as much as you. Seriously, I thought I could talk. You are unreal. What you do it with class, understanding, professionalism. You're simply amazing. I told you that when I first met you. And you ran off my autobiography. It basically was a book. It was simply fantastic. And to think that you do that every show.
Very respectful. And he really connects with the artists and his audiences. And I felt like this guy's on to something, and I'm proud to be a part of this with him.
And I really thank your support. I lost my father, and you were the first person to support me in all that, and I thank you so much for that. It meant a lot to me.
The greatest wealth is when you can share it with someone. You can share your victories, you can share your failure, you can express your deepest feelings, but the greatest wealth is to be able to say that I have a friend, and I feel an unbelievable level of wealth, and a lot of that is because I have somebody like you.
You here to win the whole darn tournament?
I don't play, I just win.
Robert, would you like to win this entire tournament?
You know, all those luminaries and athletes and strongmen notwithstanding, the most dangerous place on this show is between me and that prize. That's all I'm going to say.
You're chomping at the bit to get in this thing.
Oh yeah, man. I've been telling you, brother. You brought up some names to me, and I was like, I can't wait. I hope they don't see me, because it's going to be on like a steaming pot of neck bones, baby, and I'm not playing.
Are you here to win the entire thing, my friend?
I'll just say this, Avi. Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
But are you here to win the entire celebrity tournament when it's all said and done?
I saw a very familiar face in Mike Rotundo, better known as IRS, and he said that he was here for the winner, winner, chicken dinner. And I want to take away that chicken dinner, so yes, I want to win this whole shebang.
Tonight,
Avi Klein launches the TKN network. It's been over 2.5 years in the making. And tonight, with mystery guests and the big debate, it's going to be, well, let's just say hotter than hell. So don't miss it.
And talent. Last name Smith. First name Joe. Joe Smith. Welcome, my friend.
Oh my God, Avi. Where did you get all of that from? Oh my God.
Guys and gals and pals, welcome again. It is Saturday night. 150 of last count. Hall of Famers from the world of sports, music, and pro wrestling, not to mention Oscar, Grammy, Tony, Emmy, Golden Globe, AMA, and WGA award winners and nominees, all competing for the pride and the prize. But guys and gals and pals, it is not merely the size of this place, of this tournament. This is a place where, as you know, strangers do leave as friends. And we are always having philosophical fun right here on TKN. And guys, I cannot wait to introduce two mystery participants who now have their name in the proverbial hat. The winner of this tournament, again, this is philosophical, but we have a ton of fun as well, a lot of levity. But the person who wins this entire thing, when it's all said and done, will win $15,000 and a 5-day, 5-night trip to Greece. We thank our sponsor, Progresso Soup. They are, as always, in the house. A little pluggy plug later for them, but we appreciate them even in the summertime, guys and gals and pals. A hearty meal as always. We also appreciate Amazon Prime, picking us up 6 episodes for round number 3 of this tournament. This is the second round, but we're nearing the final lap of round number 2. We're nearing the final lap, and we're happy about that. And we're also happy, guys, that thanks to you, we're 4 points. Again, guys, remember something. If you want controversy, go somewhere else. We are captivated by great conversation over here, as always. So with that, I'll zip the old lip. Not really, because I want to bring in our first participant. I want you guys to get to know the person behind the persona. That's what we're going to do. But we do it in a way that's respectful, because in all honesty, we don't care about gossip. We don't care about innuendo. This isn't a podcast, and I'm not a podcaster. I'm a conversationalist, and that's what we're going to have. Good old-fashioned conversation like nothing else out there. Guys and gals and pals, again, thank you for liking and subscribing and sharing, as always. My first guest was born, guys and gals, in Dallas, Texas, and he grew up with his mother, Sharon, Texas, and Oklahoma. Truth be told, many gals seemed like they were in a coma when in his presence, as they were quite smitten with him as he connected to them all, from NYU grads waving their diploma to soap-loving fans kicking it into coma. You could say that his career started very early in life, as he was quite bold. He started dancing at a young age, and he won the world's youngest breakdancer contest at the age of 2.5 years old. All told, most of us were picking our nose at that age, looking for some buried gold. I know I was, but I digress. There was passion that he developed while growing up, so I want to peel back this particular layer. Moving back and forth as a youth from Dallas to Tulsa, he had a dream of becoming a professional baseball player. Soon, guys and gals and pals, he would embark upon a path that would lead him to a career where his beautiful works of art were on full display, as he would take a blank canvas and fill it up with wonder in an industry where it's best to prep before you play. Before he graduated from Tulsa Memorial Senior High School in May of 2K. It wasn't until at the age of 18 when he randomly hopped in line to audition for a show called Pop Stars, where we all blessed to marvel at his limitless range. It was then that his life ultimately began to change. Pop Stars, guys and gals and pals, was a show about the making of a pop group. And in reality TV, the suits and ties have no pity. There were about 80,000 kids who auditioned in many a city, 7 to be exact. As a matter of fact, he made it to the final 5 and got a record deal. It was quite surreal, because he was focused on becoming a baseball player and never thought he'd be part of a pop group. But hey, it sure is funny what life can ultimately reveal. The opportunity led him into moving to Los Angeles to meet with different agents and producers, which opened the door for him to pursue acting. But Los Angeles can feel lonely and cold, as one can feel as lost as Gollum without his would-be precious ring. After landing a few guest starring roles, he had a recurring one on ABC's hit Desperate Housewives. His work was honest and truthful, as the gods of storytelling would certainly love to give him some high fives. Then came another hit, one that many would reminisce, as they remember the early 80s when this series gave millions joy and bliss, with characters that were well-crafted, some that received a slap, a shove, and many a kiss. I'm speaking of the iconic series, the one and only Dallas. our guest was cast in the lead and as the misunderstood John Ross Ewing, a character that struck rich in the oil industry and had the bling bling. My mentor, Richard Donner, had a friend that was infuriated, guys and gals, when this show went off the air, but he was infatuated with the original incarnation of the show. Who was he? The one and only Stanley Kubrick, who would apparently say that missing one episode of that hit series was certainly a sin. Of course, because the cast was incredible, including the late legendary Larry Hagman. Our guest has such a wide array of talents, as another thing that continues to mold and shape his career is his passion for music. He's recorded a plethora of songs, as the man can definitely rock the stick. Music, it's 50% of who he is as an artist, as his talent is a giant, like a native Texan and NBA great Chris Bosh. He's down to earth, t-shirt and jeans, as he keeps it real. He isn't posh, he's a straight shooter and doesn't subscribe to any hogwash. Many of you will pop when you see him and most definitely go, oh gosh. So run to your devices now and take in this moment. You have to throw your clothes in the wash as I welcome a multifaceted, diverse, intelligent, and positive human being. Last name Henderson. First name Josh. Welcome, my friend, to the celebrity tournament.
Oh my gosh. Oh man. So now I can take a breath. I got chills right there. That was incredible. I just can't believe that was incredible. Avi, you never cease to amaze. Thank you so much. You were incredible.
Well, dude, you are incredible. And like I said, it took me 5 seconds to realize I like this guy. I like him a lot because we're in the same industry. Gosh, for me, it's going on 26 years. And you know, it's people say it's a cold industry. The way I look at it is, well, who do you surround yourself with? And I could tell right off the bat, within 5 seconds, this is from the heart. I'm like, this is a really down-to-earth guy. This is a guy who knows who he is, who knows where he came from. You're very grounded, and I appreciate you for being you, bro.
Well, same to you. And that means a lot to me. Trust me, coming from you. And, we've both been in the industry. I'm about 23 years. And
sure.
And we both have a lot of experience and know kind of the ups and downs and the ebbs and flows. And I'm blessed to know you. And I love the fact that we get to get here and just chop it up and meet great people. And I get to spend some time with you. And what a blessing it is, brother.
Oh, it's going to be great, man. And I'm glad we're going to be able to peel back the layers through these topics. I can't wait. Again, guys and gals and pals, Mr. Josh Henderson is with us. Right now, I guess the age-old question I have to ask is, we're talking about probably 6 to 7 rounds of this thing when it's all said and done. Sure. 154 Hall of Famers and award winners from all walks of life. They're coming in here. Are you here to win the entire thing, my friend?
I am here to win the entire thing. And I know there's legends. I know there's Hall of Famers out there. And I know there's a lot of witty, smart, fun, and impressive people. But you know what? I'm here to stay, and I'm here to play, and I'm here to win, period.
I love that. And you know what? Before I put you backstage, baseball was a huge part of your life.
100%. It's what I thought I was going to do for a living. I grew up, and it just was kind of something natural. Both my parents were ball players. Mom played softball, dad played baseball. And it was just something that I loved, and I never really had to think too much about it. I just showed up and played, and I just continued to grow with the game. And when that pop stars thing happened, which you mentioned, and then this whole crazy career happened, everything's scary in life when it's something new. Baseball wasn't new to me. It was what I knew. So leaving that was scary to come to this entertainment industry. But at the end of the day, I think everything happens the way it's supposed to happen. And I am so blessed to be able to be doing what I'm doing today and be able to inspire and entertain people all over the world. It's such a crazy life, but I'm so grateful for it.
I love your energy, man. Mr. Henderson, I'll put you backstage for a brief moment, bring in our next participant, and then we'll be off to the races.
Sounds good.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Josh Henderson, guys, I'm going to bring in our second of 2 participants tonight. Someone who has been super, I guess as the kiddies call it, chill, very chill, and I like that. I respect that. Another down-to-earth human being. I think we can recognize that in each other when we communicate. People can recognize that in another person. Guys, again, I want to bring this guy and bring him in the way that he deserves to be brought in with the proper introduction. Guys and gals and pals right now. And again, just to let you know, this is going to be a one-on-one. Our next participant's professional legacy is partially rooted in his charismatic personality, as everything from his in-ring and mic skills were refreshingly extraordinary, as his dedication to the craft wonderfully has inspired fans and wrestlers alike. I say this most assuredly. When it comes to professional wrestling, his father was the architect of the sport in Puerto Rico. Soon his son, my guest, would glow like a phoenix spreading its wings as he ascended to great heights while putting on quite the show. As he was naturally funny and charismatic, move over Ray Romano. His range was vast, as creatively speaking, he'd go deeper than Jacques Cousteau. And as I continue to rock this flow, this you should know. He's the only wrestler to win a championship on 2 separate debuts in WWE, as he delivered with passion and gusto. All you have to do is watch his picture-perfect back cracker or springboard back elbow, as he is former WWE U.S. and tag champ, but I promise you there's Mo. He's a 17-time WWC Universal Heavyweight Champion, but he's won world titles all over the world. And if you're just joining us, be sure to like, share, and say hello, as you will soon be greeted by a man that has won world titles in FWE, MWF, PWA, and the War Promotion, BTW, and also Imperio. But here's some more info. His first major storyline was with Ray Gonzalez, which culminated during a match in 1999 at the Anniversario. This guest is true renaissance, as many would deem it quite apropos that he went to college for business management, because it's evident that he is quite thorough, as even early on in OVW, he adapted to the American style of wrestling like a certain New York Scorpio, coming to terms with La La Land, an industry filled with more lies than one told by Pinocchio. But this man's direct approach to life is as pure as Stephen Curry's free throw. All masses rooted for him, whether they were from Tokyo or towns where they rocked the banjo. So please put your hands together for a kind, intelligent, talented human being, an artist that you know as Carlito. Welcome, my friend, to the tournament.
Hey, what's going on, man? How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man.
That was a great intro. Though with Josh, you spoke about his handsomeness. You said nothing about my handsomeness. I think if you put us on a side to side, me and Josh, I think we look almost identical. You know, I mean, we're just as handsome. So I mean, that's the only thing missing. But other than that, it was a great intro.
I'm taking a mental note. I promise, man. Yeah. How's it been, man? It's kind of like, I know it sounds like a basic question, but that's how I was raised. It's, man, how are you? How are you doing, man?
I'm good. So far, no complaints. Thank God. Everything's going all right.
Yeah, it's great because, again, you know, just kind of talking to you, and I know I'm going to bring Josh in a moment. We're all going to be off to the races for topic number 1, and I'll ask that question pretty soon. But, you know, it's kind of a cool experience to be able to meet different people from different walks of life. Have you found it in your journey that we're kind of similar despite the different fields? The struggle is real and identical. The success is real and identical. Do you kind of sometimes take a little bit of joy in relating to people from different fields who've walked different paths but experienced those same trials and tribulations that you have?
Yeah, sure, all the time. You know, it's just getting to know people and understand their journey. A lot of times, you know, a lot of stuff can be very similar, even as different industries, but still a lot of, you know, similar struggles, similar goals that one has. So yeah, definitely, there's a lot that you can relate to with other people, especially different in these industries.
And you know, again, I think people should know this, man. What you've done in your career is absolutely amazing. But I think this next chapter is going to be great. Film, television, something that you have excelled in. Because I want people to understand this. You are film and TV great. People forget what gets broadcast every Monday and Friday and all the other pay-per-views. I mean, that is live TV without an off-season, Carlito.
Sure, yeah, exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
We're our own actors and stuntmen at the same time.
It's incredible.
With no safety wires or nothing, yeah. We just kind of go out there and do it live and, you know, hope for the best.
Real quick, and God rest his soul, Carlos Sr. wasn't really he wouldn't really want you initially to get into the business, right? Initially?
Yeah, initially it was like that, but I mean, all my jobs have been wrestling related, so it was just the gradual step from, you know, like being a beer hawker, to working in the canteen, turning the ring up, being a cameraman. You know, it was just, like I said, just the next step.
I loved, and again, I haven't watched wrestling in years, but I just, again, researching for this, it almost seemed like that when it come to the, you know, the Carlito character, I feel like this is someone who liked having a good time, who's laid back and relaxed, who could turn it up when he needs to, and kind of like maybe a character that might be befitting of your style a little bit. Would I be right?
Yeah, a little bit. There's a lot of similarities, definitely. Sure. Yeah, there's a lot of similarities. Just it's always said like this. Carlito's kind of like me with the volume turned way up.
Sure. My friend, I got to ask you the question again. 154 Hall of Famers and award winners are all in this virtual tournament, this virtual arena. Would you like to win the entire thing?
I would like to win the whole thing. Yeah, we'll see. Let's see how my answers go. I'm not, you know, like I said, people in my industry aren't really known for their deep thoughts or big brains. So, you know, we're gonna hope for the best. And you know, the money's great, but I'm interested in that trip to Greece. That would be a nice little getaway for me.
You've traveled the world. Have you ever been to Greece at all?
I've been to Greece before. Yeah, I've been pretty much everywhere at this point. But you know, like I said, free trip anyway is always nice. You know, I'll take a free trip to Puerto Rico.
I'll tell you, man. I'll tell you this. But what you said about the smarts, no, man. I have to say, no matter where you're from, man, the professional wrestlers, so well traveled. And the reason why I did this show, a lot of the athletes were like, hey, it's cool that you're giving us these topics because everyone wants to ask the same old, but it's like, you're not just a wrestler and Josh isn't just an actor. I love being able to peel back the layers because you shouldn't have society put you in a box. Like you're not one thing. None of us are. So I've got to know that just based on our interactions over here. And as I bring in Mr. Josh Henderson right now, I can't wait to start things off. Josh and Carlito, I know you guys have already met. So
yeah, we've met. Yeah. We're buddies now.
Yeah, we just got to spend some time together in Knoxville, and I'd see him in the mornings in the gym before our event, and had a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we also did a tour, guys, and hey, listen, to all those who've served, we salute you. Thank you so much. But Josh, Carlito, and I did a tour on the StreamYard Patrol. We'll talk about that one day, but we did a tour of duty on StreamYard. Keep using StreamYard. We love it, but we definitely did a little tour of duty recently. And guys, again, thank you for joining us and watching. You can play along with these topics, which I'll put up on screen momentarily. I'll read this to our audience. I'm going to kick this off first. Topic number 1, guys and gals and pals. I'm going to kick it off to Josh first and then to Carlito. They have the same topics. And, of course, you guys can give us your responses as well and type that in the comment section. So, guys, I call this first topic joining the cause. And as a people, when we can unite across our differences, I feel like we can meet the full potential of our humanity. There's at least a chance for that. In this scenario, Josh and Carlito, you're granted permission to go back in time and convince a deceased historical figure to help you with a mission of yours. It's something that's near and dear to your heart. So which deceased historical figure do you select to help assist you in this mission? And then what is this particular cause and mission, and why is it so very important to you? There is no time limit. You can go as long as you'd like, my friend. Whenever you're ready, good sir, the floor is yours.
So first off, I have to commend you on these topics and these questions because they're not easy, actually. We're going back to any historical figure, as well as something that's near and dear to my heart, our heart. So it was tough because my first thought went Jesus, right? But is that allowed? Is that playable? Because Jesus did die on earth, but I believe that he rose and he's alive, right? So is that okay? Can I say Jesus? And what my mission with him would be was clearly meeting and getting to walk this planet with Jesus Christ would be incredible. But unity clearly, I think, is one of the biggest problems that we have on this planet. And it's always been a problem. But right now we are so separated and divided, even in our own country. There's just so much division. And I think that if I could just walk and talk with Jesus Christ and ask him his advice on how to unify people in general, that we need that. That would be something that I think would just be, unbelievable, incredible. And I didn't know if that was in play and if that was possible. But if not, I came up with another one just in case. And it's totally different and very kind of potentially almost random. But mental health is a big thing that I think is not only a big issue with all of us today, whether it's bipolar or depression or all that stuff. I thought about, okay, who can I look back and who's a big historical figure that fascinates me when they were around, what they were doing while they were around, and also suffered from mental illness. And it's Cleopatra, which I know this is random, but she ran an Egyptian dynasty right before the whole Roman period, and was linked to people like Julius Caesar and Mark Antony, and just achieved so much in 39 years, but also apparently suffered from mental illness the whole time, which ended up being her demise, and committed, she poisoned herself, committed suicide. But just to walk and talk with her and be like, what is it like as a woman in the world when things were clearly different, but to run an ancient empire and dealing with mental illness, to be able to connect all these dots and, just kind of pick her brain on how are you doing all this? And this is incredible. And how did you guys do all this here in Egypt? Ancient Egypt has always really fascinated me. So that's two separate topics. I hope I'm not cheating, two separate people, but the first one, I didn't know if it was going to be playable or not. But yeah, unity is a big thing for me. And I think that if anybody can unify us, in my mind, it's Jesus.
No, I think that's great. And, when you bring up Cleopatra, what's funny about Cleopatra? They thought that she had a mental illness based on how she was written by Shakespeare, which is so crazy because there's the play Antony and Cleopatra, and that's in her portrayal. Shakespeare, from what he received as far as information from scholars, he said, later on she wasn't being diagnosed by William, but based on the character written about her from him, a lot of experts seem to think that she had borderline personality disorder.
Yeah.
That's absolutely incredible. I directed King John, which is a play nobody touches. Nobody wants to touch King John. This was in the Santa Monica Playhouse, and we had a discussion about like historical figures and their mental illness. And my question is this: do you feel do you feel like, regardless of the historical figure that you bring up, whether it's Cleopatra, whether it's Jesus, is there an issue, not with her or with him, but is there an issue with romanticizing the legend and forgetting the flaw of the human when attaching that to a historical figure, do you think?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, I think that, whether it's Julius Caesar or Cleopatra or Ramses III, whoever you want to talk about, like
right.
in these kind of during that time of like such a period that we don't know anything about. We just do see the romanticized version, right? We see the movies and so we know the pyramids and how were they built and all these things that are just kind of, we can't even wrap our heads around in the fascinating, but we never really can get to know who's the person, not that, how did they build these pyramids or how do they run this or how do they, almost dominate the entire world. It's more about what were they dealing with on a daily basis, which I think breaks it down for us as human beings. It's whether it's what you're doing in directing and writing and TV or what Carlitos is doing in the ring or what I'm doing on screen or, on stage, that's all the glorified parts of it. But what's going on when we're not there, right?
Yeah,
and
right.
That's really the important stuff. Like, and for us being able to give the audience, the viewer or the fan, an insight to the art or the talent, but that's not necessarily always who we are as people and what we're going through, right? So they see the show or the movie or the event, the match, or the show on stage. They come to the concert.
Such a good point.
But once you go off stage, or once they say cut, or once you go back off stage, out from the ring, it's like they don't know really what's going on with us. They don't know the personal stuff that we deal with as human beings. We're blessed to be able to entertain and inspire people worldwide that we will never even meet. That's a huge blessing. But also it comes with, a responsibility.
Sure.
And so for me, it always breaks down to the actual human side of no matter what you're doing, running an ancient empire in Egypt, or in the title match, or having a movie or come out in theaters or whatever. All that's great, but how's the person doing? And that's really what's more important.
That's a good way of looking at it. And I concur. So the question is, why not? Like sometimes if we romanticize even Santa Claus, we romanticize that. Sometimes it's maybe a little healthy to do that if we're romanticizing, in this case, a historical figure that helped pave the way for people to do good in the world. And how you treat that legacy is dependent on you. Like we can't place that responsibility on the historical figure. We can't say, well, we've went astray because of them. That's a personal choice. But maybe it's a good thing for kids to be able to say, you know what? I am good. I'm playing my own devil's advocate right now. If you've noticed, I'm playing my own devil's advocate. Like I'm arguing with myself. But maybe on the flip side, because you're making me think here, like that's a good thing. Romanticizing someone that had a message of positivity is maybe something that we need. That's not a bad thing necessarily. Carlito, would you concur based on that? Or what's your opinion on that? In terms of I guess people romanticizing, again, you've been on the road 24/7, no off season. A lot of people seem to think that the professional wrestler, of course, while they travel and been across the world, sometimes, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't know, but it's the gym. Maybe it's a Denny's at 2 a.m. if you're lucky, maybe a quick nap, and then lather, rinse, repeat all over again, right?
Right. Yeah. And I think people just think that when they see on TV, that's the only time you're out working. They don't realize there's live events, it's the travel from place to place.
Sure.
So, it's a full schedule for us. But like I said, just people only think, what they see on TV. A lot of times I was off TV for a long time and people thought I died or something. Just all of a sudden you're not on TV anymore.
Wow, that's
you go
crazy.
away. It's crazy how people think sometimes.
Did you have to train yourself, and this is a weird way of putting it, did you have to train yourself to be patient with fans once you were ascending to new heights in the professional wrestling world, when you would see their reaction and how they would take things?
No, because I grew up in the business, so I saw these things as a young kid, and I understood too. Like wrestlers, I didn't see the wrestlers as these big stars, or I just saw them as people. I would see everything that would go on backstage. You know what I mean?
That's incredible. Yeah.
The funny thing to me was, I was a kid, I didn't really understand the business. The only thing I would see backstage is like, man, the good guys are like the jerks, and the bad guys are the nice guys. You know what I mean? Because the good guys would get all the everybody's cheers, and the bad guys had to betray. So it was just weird to me. It was like I didn't understand the business. Why are these? I thought these were the good guys. Why are they such jerks? And these bad guys, they don't seem like nice guys. I don't know.
When you said that, I was looking at Josh because I was thinking to Dallas, and I was thinking of Larry Hagman, and he was like hated by people in that Dallas series. Josh, you got to work with the guy. I didn't know him as well as you, but what a sweet guy, right?
Absolute sweetheart. And it's funny, Carlito, what you were just saying, I was going to chime in that it's kind of a known thing also in like the acting world when it comes to a lot of times when you see a guy that always plays bad guys, movies and TV,
guys in the world.
Probably a really, really nice person.
Probably a nice guy, yeah.
And no offense to anybody out there, but a lot of times history has repeated itself when an actor is always playing a good guy, he's probably not the nicest guy.
Yeah.
But Larry was incredible. He kind of created that, love to hate, right? The audience loved to hate him.
Sure.
But Dallas would have never been Dallas without him. He really kind of created this new not almost like a genre of character on television, but he took over the world with that character. And so when the show came back and I heard it was coming back, I remember I go, you know what? I would love to be on the show, but man, would I love to play J.R. Ewing's son.
Incredible.
And somehow the stars aligned and God is good. I got to play J.R. Ewing and hang out with Larry. And I'm telling you right now, I didn't even have to know he walked in the room. You could feel him walk into the room.
Had a presence.
Put a smile on everybody's face every day. Everyone loved to work with him. He made you laugh. Even in the last, I was shooting with him until 3 days before he passed away.
Wow.
You never known it. He was going through chemo treatments, blood transfusions, doing all these things. No one knew because he didn't want to bring the vibe down.
That's insane.
He knew that, he was on the way out, but he didn't want us worrying about that, worrying about him. He didn't want it to affect the work. And we went home Thanksgiving weekend, this would have been 2013, I believe. And just for our Thanksgiving break, I was going to have to be back on set Monday morning. So I got a call that Sunday from Linda Gray, and she was like, Larry passed.
Oh, my gosh.
And it blew me away. I was like in a very public setting. I was around all these people at the Grove, and people were asking for pictures, and I'm on the phone just hearing this news, and it was just such an odd moment. But he was just a larger-than-life character, and nicest guy, one of the nicest guys I've ever worked with.
It reminds me of so for 14 months straight, with the exception of 4 months in between, I wrote with Bill Paxton on the road, and Bill was great. Bill had a lot of fun. He was a really positive guy, but he kept his illness from everybody. At that point, he was transitioning into directing. He was directing a lot of films, and he had a great directing background anyway. But one day he leaned over to me and said, man, how does it feel writing on the road? You're not in a cubicle. You're not at home. You're writing on the road with me. How does it feel? I was like, it's a nice change of pace, Bill. He said, well, I think he looked at himself. He kind of like pointed at his body or gestured at his body. He goes, ain't going to last too long. And we're all laughing, ha, ha, ha. But then that was his way of telling me that he's hiding an illness.
Wow.
It's crazy. Carlito, I'm sorry, Josh, please.
Surprised. Yeah, I was like, I didn't know he was sick. So I remember that.
So you didn't see what's coming, you didn't see what's coming at all, pretty much.
Yeah.
I got you.
He was young too, right?
Bill was, I believe, in his late 50s.
Yeah.
Early 60s, late 50s, 57. Yeah. Carlito, I got to say this, man. I think this is a positive thing too. Like when people think about having an impact, I think there's a correlation between you and Josh, and I'll send you obviously I'll announce the first topic in a minute, but there is a correlation I want to bridge a little bit. When you debuted, obviously, in the WWE, of course, paid your dues, learned a different style here in the States, but they had a lot of faith in you the way that, of course, the studio had faith in Josh, and why wouldn't they? You're already working with the big name talents, the John Cena's of the world, if you will. Must have felt pretty good to go, you know what? Here I am, obviously the biggest company in the world. I believe there was about 3 years difference between your debut and the end of WCW, so they're kind of the biggest show in town. Must have felt good to have that spot.
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure at the same time, but it was definitely a good spot to be in, and I felt like I was ready at the time. Of course, we were nervous, but once you go out there and it's live, you're not really that nervous because for some reason for me, I don't know, when it's live, I just feel like I'm not going to mess up. You know what I mean? For some reason, I don't know.
Okay.
You get all those nerves of like, I'm sure I don't even think of that because to me, it's just not an option. You know what I mean? It's got to work.
Yeah, and there's so many more rules in the States when you're wrestling. Like you got to follow so many rules. And, in Puerto Rico, for people to understand what pro wrestling is, it could be very physical, very aggressive. Right, Carlito?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that style of wrestling, absolutely. And again, I think if I'm not mistaken, when you debuted in '99, initially you were working with Ray Gonzalez, who was considered like an incredible hand. Did you feel as if the same thing that Josh brought up, having veterans like Larry Hagman, was that beneficial to your growth, having some veterans around that you can learn from?
Oh, sure. Yeah, they carried me for those first couple of years. Yeah, those god awful. Those first couple of years I started. You know what I mean? Even though you can be around the business all you want, but until you actually do it, it's a whole different thing. So that was luckily those guys like that helped me kind of shake off my greenness.
And again, God rest your dad's soul. He was able to also kind of teach you how to be behind the scenes, how to present yourself, how to maneuver around. A lot of young kids in the business today, they may not know how to do that and get in trouble as a result. So that was a really honest, sage advice from your father.
Yeah, luckily, Pops is still around. He's still alive and kicking, and he's still giving advice today.
Gosh almighty. So, again, when I bring up your father, I'm glad you brought that up. You have such a lineage. I mean, there's so many. There's uncles. There's of course your father, as you mentioned. There's such a great history there. Do you feel right now as if the pro wrestling that we see today caters more to those who want to become, in a weird way, I've heard this, film and TV stars, and perhaps not so much in love with pro wrestling as they used to be? Because back then, growing up, becoming a pro wrestler means you loved pro wrestling. Now, sometimes people kind of transition elsewhere.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I don't like to be those, what do we call those grizzled vets. The times change, and that's what the kids want to do nowadays. Then so be it. You know what I mean? But like I said, to succeed, you have to have a love for this business. You know what I mean? So
sure.
Those ones are weeded out quickly. You know what I mean? And there's some that don't start as fans, whatever, and then they become diehard fans, and they become very passionate about the business. So, like I said, the ones that really love it will last, and the others they'll just kind of go away.
And you also have to pick up so many different tools to put in your toolbox. One of them that Josh has, and I got to bring this up, we haven't brought it up enough, and we should. Your passion for music, if I'm not mistaken, weren't two of those songs used in Dallas? Two of the songs that you recorded, Josh?
Yeah, I wrote a song called "I See You" the week that after Larry passed. It's actually probably 2 or 3 days,
right?
And I wrote a song about it because of where I was with him in our real relationship in real life, and where I was with him character-wise relationship with the son and father, and how much adversity there was between us. And so I wrote a song that I felt was not only coming from me as a personal space, but also that could work, that John Ross would have written. And it was called "I See You." They played it in this really intense scene where I'm in the elevator, and you never saw him get emotional with his father because there was so much turmoil and so much bad blood between them growing up, and, with him and Sue Ellen, his mother. But so yeah, you just see him break. The elevator shuts and he breaks, and they played the song that I wrote, and it was a really powerful moment. And it was a really cool moment for me because it was kind of like a send-off for me, a send-off to him.
Oh, right.
But also as a father within the show. And it was a great moment. And I got to kind of bring both of the worlds that I exist in, whether the music and the acting, kind of put them together for a moment that meant a lot to me, and that I think really resonated to the fans.
In terms of personalization, there was a bit of a soft landing for you in that case, in that scene.
Yeah.
Correct.
Perfect.
Wow.
And, that song will live forever in the show. And it was kind of like me giving him a salute saying, "I love you. We're going to miss you. No one's ever going to duplicate you. And so I'm going to do my best to carry the torch."
And I'm glad he never got to hear my mom say, "J.R. Ewing, we hate you," because he was such, and again, pro wrestling, he did his job. He was the antagonist of a TV show. Carlito, get a heel, did such a great job to make people feel something. You guys, would you agree? If you don't feel anything, that's probably the worst reception, is not hearing or feeling anything from your audience, regardless of the media or platform or field that you're in, right? Like, feeling nothing is the worst.
Yeah, no noise is the worst. It doesn't matter if they boo you, the cheer, as long as they're making noise.
Right.
Because that means they care. Either way, they care. You know what I mean? When there's no noise, then,
they're not invested. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
And bad guys would say, if when people come to you and say, "Man, we hated you with it," then we're doing our job. You know what I mean?
Right. Yes. Makes perfect
100%.
sense.
Yeah, I would get the same. I would get from people saying, "You're almost worse than J.R. Ewing. John Ross is almost." Right. No one ever thought that was possible. It just made people's blood boil when they watched the show and they meet me in person. And their first thing would be like, "Oh, I hate you."
Oh, and inside you're like, "I've done my job." Yes.
Yeah, I'd smile.
Exactly, I've done my job.
Well, that's John Ross. I'm
man.
Josh, but I get it, and I'm glad you hate me.
Oh, that's great. I really can't relate unless you count a couple of my ex-girlfriends. I probably did my job then because they hate me, but that's a different story. Guys and gals and pals, I'm going to transition over to Mr. Carlito with the same question for him. Good sir, Again, if you are granted permission to go back in time and convince a deceased historical figure to help you with your mission, which deceased historical figure do you select to help assist you in this mission? What is this particular mission, and why is it so very important to you? My friend, whenever you're ready, the floor is yours, good sir.
Yeah, I was thinking over and over about it. I just, honestly, I couldn't come up with anybody at all in history to think about. No, just kidding. This is a deep question. So I thought, imagine if I nothing, what do we do with it?
That was funny.
Wait, what's the answer? Might be worse. I thought, okay, so no matter what I do, if I go back, he can't fix everything, right? So I said, how can I help the most? So I was thinking like the great leaders of the past, you know what I mean? And then I was like, who are the great warriors that conquered the most land? And of course, it was Alexander the Great. And then I looked it up, I remember back to history class, it was Genghis Khan. If you look at the territory, it was a vast, so that means all different cultures that he conquered. So if I could go back in time, I would, it's one of the things, right, that, you weren't alive at that time, so you don't know. It's very easy to say nowadays. But I even thought that back when I was a kid, I was like, the way most of them, I think Genghis Khan was like this, they were ruthless, you know what I mean? And they would enslave, and they were arrogant. They would want to kill all their beliefs and stuff and impose their own belief system on other people. And then the reason why all of their empires crumbled is because people just get tired. People get tired of being slaves. They get tired of being treated like crap. So I would say to them, why? Of course, they need to fear you, right? You can't just, you have to be feared. Like, it made me think about our fathers. We're terrified of our fathers, but we love our fathers. We respected our fathers. I don't know if there's a way I could get in his head and say, look, when we conquer these territories, try and, instead of trying to kill their beliefs, let's adopt, we can learn from other cultures. And I think, we can bring these other people in, you know what I mean? Obviously, I get it. You want to expand the territory and whatever. But I think if we led with more compassion and embracing people instead of just treating them, like slaves or trying to garbage, maybe, I don't know, years, because now a lot of times it's funny, all these wars and these people are fighting now. And the crazy thing is that what they're fighting for, they weren't even alive when all this happened. You know what I mean? This is crazy. Like, I think if somehow, I don't know if it would correct everything, but at least I think people would be a little more understanding of each culture and be a little more united than the way things are. So that was kind of like my way of trying to fix the world as best I could.
I like that. That's a cool thing. And Genghis, because I remember I didn't teach global history. I taught U.S., but like with what I know about Genghis, people forget this. He had a religious tolerance. When he conquered all these different groups, he allowed them to maintain their customs, their religions. He even exempted religious leaders from like taxes and military service, because we obviously hear about the surface. Then once you start digging deeper and deeper, you realize, you know what? He wasn't just one thing like we always talk about. People know about the military genius as well. And here's kind of a funny fact, and I don't know if I'm giving you the right number because it's off the top of my head. I remember reading it years ago. It might be off a little bit, but if I'm not mistaken, there's something like 1% of all males today that are somehow linked.
I've heard that.
To Genghis Khan. We got the Y chromosome right from him.
Yeah.
Which is insane. Absolutely insane. When
So it just shows you the effect he had on the world. You know what I mean? And
Yeah. No, there's no doubt about that. Yeah. Josh?
What's that?
Yeah, I was going to tell you, like, I think if we find a way, because how do we link your two leaders together, right? Genghis Khan and then Cleopatra and then Jesus. Again, on paper, that looks strange. It might look like a rom-com, or it might look like a buddy cop film. But I mean, people might be muting our show and going, what do Josh Henderson, Avi Klein, and Carlito have in common? So I'm thinking like, we're human. It starts there.
Correct.
It begins with like trying to find the differences in the person that you're being told you shouldn't like. Wait a minute. There's differences. Great. We got that out of the way. Now what are the similarities? That's more exciting. Because then you're like, you peel back the layers, you go, okay, I heard about the differences. Great. I processed that. I'm over that. What are the similarities now?
Yeah.
And then that can bring people together when they realize, hey, we may not be meant to be best friends, but at least there's a level of understanding when you know where a person's coming from. Do you feel like now in 2025, that ship has sailed? I mean, because of the mass media, are we even allowed to have opinions somehow that don't complement what the overall opinion is?
I mean, I think that there is a sensitivity now to what I believe is correct and what you believe is not correct. You're wrong. We can't. having an opinion, having which everyone should be able to have a right to an opinion, but also have an openness. It's that old saying, listen more than you speak, right? Like, it's listen first, speak second, because everyone's so sensitive these days that, and we are torn, and with social media and with how much access people have to real information or information that's not real. Back in the day before the internet and stuff, I mean, your sphere pretty much went to your family, your neighborhood, maybe the church, people that worked at the grocery store, and work, right? And now the sphere is, I mean, you can communicate with people, millions of people all over the world, that you'll never meet, that you don't even know if they're real. And now what's crazy is, and we haven't brought it up yet, but what continues to blow my mind, and it's only going to get more and more and more wild, dangerous, whatever, is this AI stuff. And what's real, what's not. Someone sent me an interview the other day, or something with my face on it and me talking, and it was my voice.
Scary.
Like, that never happened. It was like,
Wow.
But who's to say that the 50,000 people or the 100,000 people that randomly watched it, thought it was happening? And that's
scary.
That's a little scary in this day and age, that we can put words in people's mouths and it's actually not even real, and AI is only getting better by the day. So I don't know how I got to the AI thing, but this has just got my wheels turning.
No, because it's easier now to smear somebody.
Yeah, I mean, of course.
And that ruins your livelihood. That can ruin relationships that you fostered over years, like that, in a blink of an eye.
Correct.
And like, do we have regulation? Like, it's the Wild West of AI. Like, how can we disprove that? We're not at that place now where we can say, no, that wasn't me. I mean, then it becomes conjecture. Like, how can we really prove that wasn't us?
It's scary. It's scary because it's getting better by the day. You can't, guess what you can't tell AI to do? Stop.
Right.
AI, it's just going to continue to grow, and people with humans are going to be able to continue to manipulate it and figure out how they can manipulate it. And it is scary because these kids today are very impressionable, and what they see is on these devices all day long. They're just watching, consuming. And I think one of the biggest problems moving forward for us as humans is constant consumption of stuff that is either fantasy or dark or stuff that's going to continue to separate us more and more and more. And it's dangerous. It is.
Yeah, we'll all fall victim to that. I couldn't help but, as Josh was bringing this up, and you're right, I totally agree with you, but I thought of what Carlito said about Genghis, and then Josh bringing up devices. I would be totally bummed out if Carlito brought Genghis Khan to 2025, and within 2 months he kind of knocks on Genghis's door. Hey, we got a mission. And he opens the door forcefully, and he sees Genghis Khan on the couch with potato chips and an iPhone in his hand. I would be so bummed if the great Genghis Khan is now addicted to his devices. Can you imagine? Like, hey, that could have happened. All these historical figures, maybe they were on these successful missions because there were no distractions. Maybe that's why. Like, correct. I mean, God Almighty, they knew what they had. They had a purpose. They followed it. But today, like, it's kind of sad, and I make fun of it, but it's kind of sad to think that there's probably millions of kids that could potentially be a historical figure in the future that we reflect on in the past that we'll never meet because they didn't do anything in the present.
100%.
And I'm like, oh, whoa, that's mind-blowing. Like,
it's
that neighbor who seemed like he was a procrastinator might have actually solved like one of our world's problems, but they were so locked in with this and everything else that you just brought up.
It's kind of like these guys that go to jail. I mean, they make up all these things in jail. It's like, man, they don't use that, that brain for, positive things. Imagine the things they could have created.
Yeah.
You see guys that made out of wine out of, I don't know, to grab the toilet paper or something, or they created, even the shafts they create are creative the way they come up with these things. I'm like, man, that's a creative mind. Imagine it was used, something good.
That's a good point.
That could help this world out. Yeah.
Like the History Channel has where they take you inside the penitentiaries, and you're right. You hear some of those criminals who, of course, are incarcerated. And when you figure out their process, you're like, number one, they're very intelligent, very well spoken.
Right.
And if they kind of put their mind to some other use, you never know.
Yeah.
Now it's like, well, the disease of isolation is kind of, I think, sapping potential because isolation leads to the decline of innovation. Carlito and Josh, do you feel, it's a question I really never asked this before on the show. Do you feel like knowledge is always necessarily more powerful than belief? Is knowledge more powerful than one's own belief?
Well, I think that knowledge is something that you can acquire with effort. Knowledge is something that you can use to be able to. Sorry.
Yeah, sure.
Belief is something that I think is super powerful. And why? Because if someone believes in something, it creates ambition, it creates desire, it creates productivity, it creates hope, it creates, if you dream or believe, then it's corny, right? Like anything is possible if you just believe or have dreams. Never let your dreams die. Knowledge is powerful because it's something attainable, but belief is something that you could hopefully attain that you would never think you could, but you believe.
Sure.
If you believe it, I think that you can. So I think that they're both powerful, but for me, if I could have one or the other, I would want to go with, and I know that most people would say knowledge, but I would want to believe that I could achieve anything, and that would be the effort into be able to achieve it.
Carlito?
I think they go hand in hand, because belief without knowledge too can be dangerous. You know what I mean?
Right.
So you know what I mean. So yeah, it's great to believe, but also definitely, you just can't be out there ignorant and because like I said, you believe, if you have belief in everything, then you kind of fall for everything. So you need kind of knowledge to back up those beliefs and to mold your beliefs. You know what I mean?
I agree with that.
I totally agree with that too. Yeah, absolutely. I think a lot of times as an athlete or as a successful film and TV great like you are, Josh and Carlito, as a legendary pro wrestler, do you have to be aware of the rooms that you walk in? I was taught that by my mentor years ago. Once I was working for Lionsgate initially and then Universal. Between the transition of both studios, he pulled me to the side and he said, "You're going to have to walk in rooms a bit more carefully and have your blinkers on." I go, "What do you mean by that?" I didn't even know what that meant. And then later on, he kind of broke it down to me. He says, if you walk into a room and you handle the weight of who you're perceived to be, you're going to be okay. But people are going to judge you the moment you're in that room. So did you guys ever, and this isn't like an exact time you have to tell me, but did you ever feel like at some point when you guys were ascending in your industries, your respective industries, did you feel like you had to kind of be careful of who's in the room and how to behave when certain people are in the room?
Go ahead.
Yeah, if a wrestler, you learn that quick. You learn the first thing you do is know how to read a room. You know what I mean? And at least I'm very good at reading a room.
Sure.
And the crazy thing about a wrestler is you can be in one day, you could be the biggest star in the world. You could be a nobody. You could be a D-list celebrity.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's kind of like keeps you in check. You know what I mean? I know if I go this area, everybody's going to recognize me. You know what I mean? I can go like this more like bougie area, whatever. They're not really wrestling fans. Like, I can kind of go under the radar. And there's some people that will just walk by, hey, that's the guy from, you know what I mean? And then on with their life, you know what I mean? And then some people will see you and start crying, So it's crazy. It teaches you not to get too full of yourself. You know what I mean? You're not the biggest thing on earth. You know what I mean? And so it's always good to check your ego everywhere you go.
Oh, I totally agree with that, Josh.
Yeah, I mean, when I started, I think that I think preparation is always important if you are going into a room, an important room, whether it's an audition or for a meeting or whatever it is. But when I first started, I was so green. I think it helped me not to know how big the room was that I was walking into.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Because,
made you less nervous?
I just landed in Hollywood. I was young. I didn't even know, I was like, this is all just kind of this, it's all fantasy almost. And somehow I landed here. Okay. So, I've got an audition. Great. I was so green that I kind of just went in as myself without and like a young kid. And I got hired. I got so many jobs because I didn't know how big the rooms were that I was going in.
Right. You're not overthink.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like
sure.
Later on, actually, it got more. I started to realize, and it was almost harder because I was putting more pressure on myself, which then creates nerves and everything else. But in the beginning, for me, I remember I was just like, just give me an address. And back in the day, before we had phones and GPS, I would have what's called a Thomas guide, which would get us around LA. There was this big book. It was about this thick.
Yeah, that's right.
And it was on a grid, and I got to go to C24. Where in the world is that? Burbank? Where is that? Right?
Yeah.
Showed up, and it was about, I'd been in LA for about 3 weeks, and I was quickly getting these auditions, and I just kind of was having fun with it.
Sure.
And I wasn't putting too much pressure on myself, not realizing that these were the network executives or
right. Yeah.
And for me in the beginning, yeah, it helped that I kind of just went in with no kind of set expectations of.
Yeah, you were having a lot of fun, and it's great. Yeah, in that casting room, you make a bold choice and you put it behind you, no matter what.
Yeah.
You walk in there, make that bold choice to distinguish yourself. But you're right. The first major writers' room I had wasn't with Rob; it was with Carl Reiner, his father, when he was still alive.
Wow.
And I'm thinking, wait, I'm sitting here, with like 3 young writers, a couple of older ones, and they want me to write for Carl. So we're sitting. It's a writer's room, literally a writer's room. And he's sitting there, and he's like, some guy was pitching him like a monologue, and I was so damn green. I had to cut off the writer. I'm like, that's a soliloquy. That's not a monologue, because that's being delivered to no one in particular, which is what a monologue is. A soliloquy is just to yourself. And I'm like, God, later on, I'm like, Avi, why don't you just shut up? But then Carl was like, oh, you know the difference? Yeah. Can you give me one now? I'm like, oh, no pressure. So I'm giving the guy like a soliloquy. And for the longest time, he ribbed me because I'd see him around the water cooler for like the next week or so. He'd go, that wasn't a soliloquy. That wasn't a good soliloquy. That wasn't a good soliloquy. And then one of the other young writers was like approaching him, and he said, Carl, like, you're a genius. You used to work with the great Mel Brooks, who's still alive. Mel Brooks is, I think, 100, just turned 100. He says, you worked with Mel Brooks. You were a great comedic tandem in the 50s. You have any advice for me? I'm about to do stand-up. He sits there playing with his pen for like, it seemed like 30 minutes, might have been 10, closer to 10. He's playing with his pen. He's twisting the pen. We're all listening there on pins and needles, like waiting for the sage advice. And he finally gestures the guy to come over, the comedian. He says, I got some great advice for you tonight. I was thinking about it. I hope you don't mind me taking 10 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever it was, to think about this great advice. When you're on stage tonight, here's what you're going to do, okay? Actually, here's what you're not going to do. He's like, what? You ready? Yeah. He goes, don't suck. He was committed to the bit. He committed to the bit. The whole setup was like, and I'm like thinking to myself, man, there's so much more to this craft of storytelling I'm not even privy to. The patience, commitment. It's like, it was such a school, such an education. I want to play this fun game before we get to our second topic, but I want to talk really quickly, if you guys don't mind, just to plug our sponsor, Progresso Soup. They really make a lot happen over here. Chicken noodle soup. Now, guys, there is going to be an issue. This is a 4-pack. Carlito, Josh, and myself. Again, they don't have to say anything if they don't want to, but they told me off camera they like Progresso, which means we're going to have to fight for this 4th can. There's only 3 of us. One of us will indeed fight for the chicken noodle. I think Carlito might win. I'm taking a guess over here, Josh. I don't know. Maybe Josh will. I'm definitely going to come out the loser here, but get yourself some Progresso soup. If there's a 4 can and you need someone to break the tie, call in Josh and Carlito. They got the guns. They'll do it for sure. There's no doubt about that. Oh, man. Hey, really quickly, do you guys still, with your busy schedule, is there a particular sport you kind of like to watch if you get a chance, if you have any downtime, any sport that speaks to you at all?
Carlito, go ahead.
Yeah, I watch them all. UFC, basketball, football, hockey. I like to watch live. Baseball, I like to watch live. Just because of hockey, I can't keep up with the puck.
Yes, I can't see the puck.
So,
yeah, good point.
And then I never see them score a goal. So the fun's over by the time you realize.
But hockey makes me feel stupid because the commentators are going, yeah, goal, score. I'm like, am I the only one that didn't catch this?
Yeah, where's the
exactly. Is going nuts. The commentator, and I'm like, I can't see the puck.
Right. Yeah. I realize if you go to if you go to hockey and you sit further away, it's great.
Yeah.
I can see everything. I keep track of everything. It's great. And then baseball live just moves along so quickly, but on TV it takes forever.
TV, it does, and it's funny you mentioned baseball because, like, Josh, man, that was a real pursuit. You were great at the sport of baseball.
It was, yeah, and I'll tell you what, there's nothing like going to a game. And I agree with Carlito. Like, as much as I love baseball as a part of my life, it's not the easiest thing to sit and devote 3.5 hours of your life to.
Sure.
On the couch. I think football is a little bit more exciting basketball when it comes to watching at home. But there's nothing like to a ballpark, getting a beer and a dog and sitting there and just kind of the sounds and there's just such a nostalgic American history aspect to going to a baseball game. So they're live. I love it. For me, when it comes to watching stuff, my favorite is watching football.
Sure.
And I know I'm probably going to get a lot of hate for this, but Dallas Cowboys is appointment television for me. My team is on. When I don't care what I'm doing. I am somewhere with a TV and they better have sound. That's the one thing that
I will not rag on you at all. How can I? I grew up in Queens. I'm a Knicks fan, so I totally get it.
Yeah.
The bane of my existence, the New York Knicks. Guys and gals and pals who are watching, play along, because right now we are going to play the game I'd Pay. But first, I'm going to play a very, very brief video of those we've lost who've been a part of the celebrity tournament who are gone way too soon. Trio of options for Gallagher, more underrated than why? Sauerkraut, Henry Kissinger's deep, soothing voice, or dogs wearing sweaters?
I like dogs wearing sweaters.
Did you have fun?
Yeah, I haven't done an interview in 20 years.
Wow.
What a great comedian. Mr. Sizemore, first name Tom. How are you, my friend? I could turn the volume lower if you'd like next time, if you'd like me to do that, Tom. I could do that.
Wow, that was something else. I don't know what I can do now.
Oh, please.
I got nothing. That was terrific, man.
Thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. And you know what? As charming as a guy that you are, man, and as honest as a guy as you are, and as down-to-earth as a guy as you are, you played a character that isn't so down-to-earth named Scrooge in college. You played Scrooge. And, of course, I feel like a thespian should rely on their instinct. Do you feel like you rely on your instinct a lot as a storyteller as well?
I mean, playing Scrooge at that young an age was, when I think about it now, I only way I could have done it is I was relying on my instincts. You know, I could have done it the other way. Okay.
More underrated than why? Unicycles, Italian men named Skippy, or sophisticated dinosaurs?
What? More sophisticated dinosaurs?
Yeah,
I want to say the sentence. Italian men named Skippy. I just want to say.
Yes. Yeah. Italian men named Skippy.
I just want to say the sentence. Italian men named Skippy.
Something you'll never hear. Yeah. Did you have fun? Did you have a nice time?
I had a great time. It was ball.
Yeah, man.
I want to do it again. This is great. I just think it's going to be, a lot of fun for people. I don't think people like this on the air. I don't think really. No, there isn't. I just think it's going to be I'm very interested in how people respond to it. Because I know it's going to be interesting and see if people tune in and stay tuned in, and I really hope they do. And I'm all yours, bro. Let's go out and make this work. All right. I'll talk to you soon. Okay. Bye.
I teach a workshop, and one of my students finally said about my class about iambic pentameter. He finally said, I got it. And he was excited. And it was both his elation and those 3 words that make it worthwhile, right?
Amen. You got it. But I think I've got to have equally passionate people involved in the production of it. That passion will override any reservations anybody has as to the show's potential for entertainment or education.
Did you feel as if transitioning to the stage and performing live theater was a natural fit for you?
Yes, I did. I always felt very comfortable on stage, more so on stage than I did in film or television. So I'm looking forward to you, Avi, giving me your thoughts and your input, because as I told you, that piece that you sent me is, I love good writing, and I think that's been the secret of my career. And this is a beautiful piece of writing, as I said. I'm referring to the piece that you wrote me. You're onto something because you're a writer. You're a creative force, and I want to hook up.
Thank you so much for those kind words, guys. Thank you for being you, my friend. I appreciate you and respect you wholeheartedly.
And that goes double from me to you, Avi.
You guys were like my pop, man. Passed away about 6 months ago.
Oh my goodness.
Big guy, but quiet guy.
Sorry to hear that, brother.
Yeah, sorry to hear that, man.
I appreciate that. Yeah, man, it's nuts how you like wake up the next day and you're like still looking at the phone. You're like, I just got to call him up for a quick conversation for some advice. And you're like, man, I'm not going to hear anything. But my question to you is this: if you guys had anybody that you lost in your life that you would like to have like one more conversation with about anything, it doesn't have to be career advice, it could be personal or otherwise. Is there someone that's on your checklist, someone that you would love to be able to have a conversation with again if you could?
Yeah.
Even a friend, a relative. Josh, yeah.
Well, I've lost a lot of people But I think my Meemaw was someone who was very shoot.
It's okay, brother. Yeah, I understand. No. That's totally I understand, my friend.
My bad.
No, there's no bad, man. I totally get that. I in a way I feel like they're still here. I know people always say that and it sounds so sappy, but I've had things happen to me that I can't explain. And sometimes I feel like there's a dose of humor that my dad is adding in my life. Little things that happen, for instance, like he knew that I was looking for a particular tie. Could never find it. And then like a month ago, I'm like, wait, there it is. But I swear I'm not making this up. It's not the Mandela effect. I would go through that same closet every day and not see it there. And I live alone. So I'm like, how is it there all of a sudden? It's like these weird little things. Carlito, is this someone you miss in your life that you would kind of have a conversation with if you could?
Yeah, that'd probably be my Uncle Noel.
Okay.
He was murdered in, I think, 1994.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, he got shot by a disgruntled employee. Nothing in particular, just I miss the guy. You know, he was fun, funny, just talk about whatever with him. You know, I mean, nothing specific. It was just great to hear his voice and just see him again.
That's really cool. Yeah, and I'm sure he's proud of you. And Josh, Grandma, I mean, so proud of you, man. It's the way you conduct yourself. Both of you guys are just so easy to talk to, and I think they're probably proud. If they're proudest of anything, it's probably of our humanity and not so much our resume.
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
I love that.
I'll tell you what, Josh. I've got a game I'm going to play right now, and this has cheered up a bunch of participants we've had on the show. And maybe this will do the same for all three of us because I call this game I'd Pay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give Josh and Carlito a trio of options. Believe it or not, when I teach acting workshops, this is a really good game because it stretches the muscle up here in the old noggin. It gives you a chance to illustrate something in your mind that you've never thought you would ever see in the same sentence put together. So, again, I'm going to ask Josh and Carlito a trio of options and questions. I'll start with Josh. If you have to pay for the following, Josh, if you could pick only one, which of the following would you pay for to see and why? Rocky Balboa as a neurosurgeon, Seinfeld as a correctional officer, or Rambo as a talk show host?
Those are good. I think that Rambo would be hilarious, but Seinfeld as a correctional officer also.
Seinfeld as a correctional officer,
yeah, I think I'd have to go with that one. I mean, just the randomness of his wit and seeing him kind of try to, break up a fight or handle the yard, I guess, per se. I think that would be hysterical.
Yeah, and especially if he's like got the cell block and he's got the nightstick out and he's like trying to be all funny. And why do they call these bars? They don't rhyme or anything. Oh, he's even getting killed right away for saying stuff like that. Carlito, my friend, if you could pick one of the following, which would it be and why? Which would you pay for to see and why of the following? We have Seinfeld, the correctional officer, Rambo, the talk show host, or Rocky Balboa as a neurosurgeon.
I would go with the Seinfeld too, but just to have a different answer, I go Rambo as a talk show. I think that would just be a train wreck.
Yeah.
And a ratings disaster. But I think, it could be one of those things where it's so bad it's good. So, I mean, that could be very entertaining,
It would.
In a bad way.
And if you're like on the phone, you could still watch the show for the nonverbals because no one's saying anything.
Yeah.
I think the Rocky Balboa, the neurosurgeon one too. Like, here's the cool transition in life. Rocky went from asking Mick to cut him, and now he's cutting someone, which is kind of a cool thing. But you got to admit, guys, if you're Rocky fans, I know a lot of us are Rocky fans. Like, that's the one time Rocky needs to tell Mickey, you got to stay home. You can't be here with me motivating me, get the scalpel. We need you to cut him. I don't need this right now. I'm trying to get my head together as we speak. Like, we don't need Mickey in that room when he's doing this, right? Like, we have to agree. Mickey has to stay put. He has to stay put, right? He's not going to help. Another trio of options here for Josh Henderson and Carlito. Of the following, which would you pick for and to see and why? Hannibal Lecter is a regular cast member of 90210, Big Bird the Bounty Hunter, or Conan the Librarian?
All of them the same as 90210 cast members?
Hannibal Lecter. Yeah.
And Hannibal the other one?
From Silence of the Lambs. It would be
either that is.
Yeah, it would be either him as any cast member of 90210, maybe as Hannibal Lecter. Hannibal somehow in this scenario, that's a great question, is part of 90210, or you can go with Big Bird the Bounty Hunter or Conan the Librarian.
Oh, Hannibal has all these characters. Okay, so now I didn't understand the question. Okay, now I get it. Okay.
I was on 90210, so having Hannibal Lecter walk around on set would probably be a pretty interesting experience. So that one I would like to see because I would have liked to experience that. But you said Big Bird as a what?
As a bounty hunter?
You remember that movie, Follow That Bird?
Yes.
Big Bird. Remember that? It's a random movie from like the late 80s.
Follow That Bird.
Yeah, and Big Bird like gets picked up by a circus and he's lost and they're trying to find him and the dodo birds are chasing him all over the country. He hides in a barn and everything. So I was always a Big Bird fan, but I'm going to have to go with Hannibal Lecter on the set of 90210.
90210. I could see him doing that like about face as he turns dramatically in the opening credits.
Yeah.
Right after Steve Sanders and Brandon Walsh, we get Hannibal Lecter. Big Bird, though, he did. Big Bird could probably do an adequate job. He was tall, he was mobile, and he did run the streets of Sesame.
He did. Yeah.
So he ran those streets there. We know that. Conan the Librarian is an interesting one as well. Like he would take the job seriously, I think.
Yeah, probably.
Super seriously. I cannot wait to hear Mr. Carlito's response to this one. Which would you select and why are the following? Hannibal Lecter as a cast member of 90210, Big Bird the Bounty Hunter, or Conan the Librarian?
I think Big Bird the Bounty Hunter would just be hilarious. Just seeing him try to hide from, you know what I mean? Kind of rest people, but hiding first and then running after them.
Yeah. And like, I feel, as you said that, I'm like kind of writing this here. He's the last one to know that he's not really hiding, that he's not doing
right, exactly.
Job.
You know what I mean? Yeah. It seems a mile away.
Yeah.
Which would be hilarious.
Oh, my
I can even see him driving, whatever he's driving. I see him with his head hanging out the window.
I can see it too.
Chasing people around. That'd be fun, yeah.
I could see you illustrating that for me because Big Bird, guys and gals and pals, as a bounty hunter might actually work. We're writing the screenplay as we speak. This is a writer's room. That's what we're doing. I'm going to ask Josh a question now, a trio of options. We had a couple more of these. Of course, they're meant to be. Which would you pay for to see and why, Josh, of the following? Darth Vader as a wedding planner, Godzilla as a massage therapist, or Freddy Krueger as a personal trainer?
Freddy Krueger as a personal trainer. That's just hysterical.
Yeah.
He had the fingers, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So that would be the first issue, right? Getting past those guys. Him either spotting you or trying to hand you a weight, you're just screwed.
Oh, you're screwed. And he can't teach you how to do wrist curls either, right? Because
he's gonna catch an eye or
Freddy Krueger's the personal trainer.
Snip your nose or whatever. But yeah, I think
Josh, were you a horror fan? Were you a fan of horror movies growing up or not really?
You know what's crazy? I've been in a decent amount of them, but I had never. I just personally.
Sure.
I remember I was at the premiere of The Ring, and I remember when that girl was climbing out of that well and out of
right.
I had my feet up in the chair, and my mom was never a fan of horror films either, and so I just I get into it and I get too damn scared, and so I don't not like them. They just affect me. We'll say that.
Yeah, Carlito, are you with us, my friend? I think we might have lost. I'll ask you a question while I try to get Carlito.
Yes.
Are you more likely to? I know I am. It's probably for a movie. Are you more likely, Josh, to cover your eyes for a jump scare that you know is about to happen, or do so if you're on a roller coaster before that big loop?
Love roller coasters. I can do that stuff all day. Scary movies affect me a lot more.
Yeah, totally. Carlito, are you a horror fan as well?
Yeah, I'm not the biggest horror fan, but I do enjoy watching a horror movie here and there.
Any favorites at all? Franchises or?
I mean, all the classics. I like all the classics. I just watched the last Final Destination.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I like all those ones from back in the day.
100%. And again, this is Josh Henderson picking Freddy Krueger, the personal trainer. Carlito, which way would you go and why for the following? If you had to pay for the following, which would it be? Darth Vader as a wedding planner, Godzilla as a massage therapist, or Freddy Krueger, the personal trainer?
I got to go with Darth Vader as the wedding planner. I just think it'd be very easy for me. I don't see anybody arguing with him.
No,
you know what I mean? They kind of just taking whatever he suggests, going with it. I mean, I can see him doing this to anybody, get some anger or something. Yeah, and after that, I think it would just have to settle with whatever's prices are.
Oh my gosh.
Whatever his ideas are.
But I feel like everything has to be just so because he'd count the fish tacos on the table, the napkins, the guest list. Like he would literally not let you get away with anything.
I can imagine walking around the back of the ceremony, just looking at everybody and observing everything, making sure.
Yes. And I've never asked this, but at the end of the reception, does he have a tear in his eye after watching the groom? And
I think he's stone cold. I don't think he's he's worried about getting the job done in the paycheck. That's it.
The paycheck, yeah, that's probably a way for Darth Vader. Guys and gals and pals who are watching play along as well. We're about to finish this up. We got another one over here. Which would you pay for to see and why, Josh, of the following? Alf, attorney at law, Papa Smurf, the hip hop artist, or Mr. Bean, the motivational speaker?
Okay, so Mr. Bean has cracked me up for. I mean, it just. He never really says a lot, right? And it's all
no. Yeah,
and so watching him try to get through motivating people without weirding people out or frustrating people, I think would be. I would pay to see that because Mr. Bean, he's just one of the most unique entertainers and unique characters ever. So I'd pay to see that.
And how about this? The man that portrays Mr. Bean, Rowan Atkinson, is in this very tournament, and I want to see him show up as Mr. Bean for the next round. He's got to show up as Mr. Bean.
That's
Rowan
great.
Atkinson. I'm telling you. Oh my gosh, we're done. We're clamoring for it, Josh. Carlito, the following: which would you pay for to see and why? Alpha Attorney at Law, Papa Smurf, the hip hop artist, or Mr. Bean, the motivational speaker?
I would pay. I would legitimately pay just to see Mr. Bean be yeah. I just think that would be hilarious. Yeah.
He's nonverbals. There you go. Yeah.
Stuff. That'll be awesome.
We have the following over here again. A new movie was announced. Actually, I think it came out, or I'm lost in space. We have the following: Josh and Carlito. Which would you pay for to see and why? Of the following: Beetlejuice as a runway model, cast of Goodfellas as studio audience members on Jerry Springer, or Jason Voorhees from Friday the 13th as an ice skater.
The first one was what?
Yeah, sure. We have Beetlejuice as a runway model.
I mean, just the way Beetlejuice moves in general, and his just how kind of it's just that kind of staccato movement and how nuts he is. To see him try and keep composure down a runway, I think would be hilarious, and he'd probably stop to lick a couple of people's faces as he walked down and do all kinds of random stuff. And he might not ever even make it down to the end of the runway. But
no, he won't make it down. He's too mischievous.
Yeah, correct.
He's got stuff up his sleeve, literally. So there you go.
And look for a cigarette or a drink or something on the way down. But
Beetlejuice is a runway model. I like that. Carlito, we have Beetlejuice, the runway model, cast of Goodfellas as studio audience members on Jerry Springer, or Jason Voorhees from Friday the 13th as an ice skater.
I got to go with the cast of Goodfellas. I can just see them interrupting, taking over the show, arguing. Then the question is, like, when they say they send security, does security even get involved? You know what I mean? Do they even dare to get involved? You know what I mean? Or do they just let them run the whole show? You know what I mean?
I don't think security gets involved. I definitely don't.
They just kind of let them do. Yeah, they kind of basically would take over the show, I think.
And I think the only voice we'd hear, I know he would find this funny, the only voice we'd hear amongst the other mob guys in that audience would be Joe Pesci's, no matter what. He drowned everybody out.
Exactly.
Absolutely. And it's our final one right here before topic number 2, and we say adios to you guys. Goodbye, sayonara, and shalom pretty soon with topic number 2 upon us. Our final trio of options here for Mr. Carlito and Josh Henderson. Josh, what should we pay for to see and why of the following? Archie Bunker as a mountain climber, Ralph Cramden as a yoga instructor, or Don Corleone as a computer repair person?
The mountain climber.
Archie, Archie.
I mean,
Archie
he was wild in his own right, and the character that he portrayed, and the kind of aggressiveness, and I think that it would be absolutely hysterical to watch him try to climb that mountain and the antics that would come out of his mouth. So
he always blame it on Edith, his wife, in the show, All in the Family. Somehow I'm not getting up here fast.
And
wild.
I think watching him try to mountain climb would absolutely be entertaining. So.
And it spun off like more shows than any other in history. Like 22 shows were spun off All in the Family, including the Jeffersons. Carlito, my friend, which would you pay for to see one of the following? Archie Bunker as a mountain climber, Ralph Cramden as a yoga instructor, or Don Corleone as a computer repair person?
Who's the second guy?
We have Ralph from The Honeymooners as a yoga instructor.
Okay. Who's a yoga instructor? Probably Don Corleone as a what?
As a computer repair person.
As a computer repair person. Again, kind of like Darth Vader. Same thing. I think, I don't think people would complain about his work. I think he wouldn't even fix it. He would just say it's fixed, and people just have to go with it.
And you wouldn't argue. You wouldn't argue with him. Yeah.
You wouldn't argue with him. You'd be like, okay.
No. There's no return policy.
He'd give you a price before you started, then he'd raise the price at the end, and you still got to pay it. And nothing's fixed.
I love that. Man, guys, Carlito and Josh, you guys rock. This was a lot of fun. We're going to finish up with our final topic. We'll rotate it out and start with Carlito first, and then Josh. It's called Freedom is a Song. If heaven had its own national anthem, what would its title be and why? Carlito, and upon walking through those pearly gates of heaven for the first time, who would you like to see first as this national anthem of yours is playing and why? Again, so what would its title be and why? Who Who would you like to see as you walk in through those gates for the first time, and why? My friend, the floor is yours whenever you're ready to go, good sir.
Well, this is an interesting question because I don't want to put anybody in a box before time, but the question is when I expect to go, or if I went, to heaven today.
That is a good question. I think,
yeah.
in any scenario you prefer, it could be either you visiting or you going there permanently.
So I'd go with what I expect, right? Or,
sure.
The way things should work out, right? Who knows? So I would say my mom. I don't have a wife or kids, so at this point, probably I would have to say my mom, just because she's still alive, thank God. You know what I mean? So let's be thankful for that, and hopefully many years more. Just because she's like the anchor of the family, you know what I mean? She's we all roll on her. She's the one that keeps everybody together. We get together at the Thanksgivings and the big holidays. We all find a way to get together somehow, and she's the one's always mostly responsible for that. I know people make jokes about getting those hard times getting together with family, but luckily, I'm very blessed that luckily we enjoy being around each other, and all our siblings, we're all close. Parents are still together after 50, I don't know how many years. So I realize a lot of people don't get that. So I'm very blessed to have things like that in my life. So that would be my mom. And then the song, first one, like We Are One, but that sounds very We Are the World type of thing. So I thought, okay, so right, heaven is where we spend eternity, right? This is supposed to be a little adventure before we get to heaven. So I would say Welcome Home would be the name of it. And then the cool thing about it is everyone hears it in their language. You know what I mean? The song is multi-linguistical, I guess, is that the word? So, whatever you speak, everybody hears that same song, but in their language.
That's really cool. Everybody can understand and listen to it and enjoy it. That's really awesome, man. Yeah. And of course, that's the title as well. I appreciate that. And it's the same question for Mr. Josh Henderson. If heaven had its own national anthem, what would its title be and why? And upon going through those pearly gates of heaven for the first time, who would you like to see first as this national anthem is playing and why? Carlito, by the way, thanks for sharing that information about your mom and your dad still together after all the. That's really inspiring, man. That's really cool.
I saw, I realized as I grew older, like a lot of people don't get that.
No, that's something to really cherish. I agree with you. Josh, my friend, whenever you're ready, good sir, the floor is yours.
Thank you. I think that for me, a good title to the anthem of heaven should be "Come as You Are." I think that there's a lot of, one of the issues maybe that people have with call it religion or relationship with Jesus or with whatever they believe. No one here should ever tell anyone whatever they believe is wrong. So I think that heaven is a place where no one's perfect. There hasn't been a person to walk this planet that's perfect. So we're all welcome and come as you are. So Come As You Are is the name of the song. Again, my Meemaw, I've lost grandparents and who I love very much, and, people from family and friends, but I would just love to see my Meemaw and be like, it's how you been. I know that you've been up here and hanging out with people that you have lost and that we've lost. And I got to spend the last week of her life with her by an accident. And I don't want to go off tangent, but I was playing baseball. I was 12 years old, got hit in the face with a baseball line drive and had to go to the hospital. And my mom was out of the country and I had no one to take care of me, no one to pick me up. And this was all shattered and my entire, this side of my face had to kind of like be fixed and my eye and everything else. And my Meemaw showed up and she was sick and stayed with me for the last week of her life. And I had to sleep sitting up. So she would make sure that I was up all night. And I'll never forget, we were sitting on the patio overlooking Sunnyvale, Texas, where her house was, looking over the fields behind her house. We were both in rocking chairs and I was listening to Tupac, Dear Mama, next to my Meemaw, trying to explain to her who Tupac was. And I would have never spent that last week of her life with her if I didn't get hit by that baseball. And then she, as soon as my mom got back in the country, I went back home, and then my Meemaw died 2 days later. So it was like one of those accidents that if it didn't happen, I would have never gotten to spend that time with her. So I would have just, when I get to heaven, I'd love to see her, give her a big hug, tell her thank you so much for that last week that we got to spend together. And I'm glad to be here. But I think that Come As You Are is a good title because I truly believe that, that we all get to go and experience something incredible after this life.
Yeah, and that's like, it's so cool you say that, because when I hear "Come as You Are," I think of being able to strip away all the superficiality.
Uh-huh.
You know, like, because people might say, well, and to a certain extent, you kind of need it to survive in the industry, whether you like it or not, and you may not like it, but it's like, it's an article of clothing you have to put on sometimes, which stinks.
Yeah.
But it doesn't represent who you are. And like, when you go to heaven, when you said "Come as You Are," I'm like, oh, we could strip all that stuff
100%.
and not worry about perception, which is great.
We've all made mistakes. We've all fallen short, and and so at the end of the day, it's forgiven, and I think that it's for everyone. Come as you are, and leave everything else behind. This is what's next, and
I feel like, and I like, not like, it sounds weird, I like telling people that one of my hobbies is not knowing something, or not knowing something about someone, because I get to sit, shut up, and learn and use my ears. And I feel like that's happened today, like across the board. Like, I know you guys, and that's it's cool that we're doing it virtually, because I in a weird way, I forget that we're doing it virtually. Like, it feels like I'm right there in the living room with you guys, having a conversation about like what matters, and that matters so much to me. And when you were bringing up your grandma, was that your mom, Sharon's mom, or?
Correct. Yeah. Okay. And my mom had me at a really young age, so my Mimo really was helping my mother raise me, and we were super close, and she knew my favorite meal was steak and baked potato, and my favorite breakfast was cinnamon toast. And when I got to see her when I was at Mima's house, that was dinner every night and breakfast every morning. And she really, we just had an incredible connection. And so like I said, that getting hit in the face with a baseball was, in a weird way, God pushing me to be able to hang out with her for the last week of her life.
Glass half full thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. And hey, you never know. And this could be a thing. Now she's heard the stories. She might be hanging out with Tupac and you. Like, when you're
correct.
Tupac.
It was pretty cool explaining Tupac to my Mimo. Trust me.
Right? Awesome. That's what stuck with me when you said that. I'm like, that's a pretty cool thing. And this was a cool thing, guys. You guys rock. Before I give you a solo layout, to let our audience know anything, like, everyone's got a struggle. Everyone's got some tough times. Maybe if you can, for just a few seconds, just kind of say something, lift up our audience. I know that they would probably respect and appreciate that in your own words, just to lift people up, maybe some advice of what to do when they're having a bad day or a bad night, how to overcome some of that stuff. But before we do that, Carlito and Josh, anything you'd like to tell each other, my friends, as we bid you both adieu?
Well, I mean, first off, this has been great. It's nothing short of what I expected. I mean, you guys are both awesome. Carlito, man, it's been so cool getting to know you over the last few weeks, and I respect you. And you're a super impressive artist, brother. And so I feel really, really, really blessed and privileged to be able to do this with you. And Avi, I think that you're one of a kind. So I want to thank you for having us both on. I think me and Carlito should be maybe I come and hang out with you. We do like some sort of a tag team match.
Team challenge.
I've still got a little bit left in me. But this is really cool. And Carlito, go ahead, brother.
Yeah, same here, man. I was glad we got to meet in person, and got a little bit. It was great. Yeah, it was great meeting you. I said, a great guy, and I think this turned out way better than I thought it would. You guys made me not feel as dumb as I think I am, so I appreciate that.
Far from it, my friend. You are totally like I sitting down learning a lot was kind of what I was after, and I got a whole bunch of it for both of you. Josh, if you can, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put you backstage for just 1 second. I'll give Carlito a solo. Anything you'd like to tell our viewers, and then I'll do the same for you, Josh, my friend. And Carlito, again, just anything you might want to say to our viewers. Again, tough time, rough times, directly. If you want to tell them anything, feel free, my friend.
Yeah, it's very cliche, but tough times don't last forever. One strategy I use, it has helped me a lot, is a lot of times people, when they're starting to feel something, they start to run from it. I'd rather just, when I'm getting in a down mood, I'd rather let it embrace and engulf me, because then after a while you just get tired of feeling down. Stealing, stress, whatever. And all of a sudden, at least it's the way I work. And all of a sudden, you just get tired of it. And all of a sudden, that's when you kind of start to be yourself again. A lot of times, I think people just keep running from it, and it just prolongs your depression or your down state, whatever. So I always say, don't face it. Don't run from it. Just face it. Let it engulf you. And you'll feel crappy for a certain amount of time. Maybe a day, two, maybe sometimes more. But eventually, you just get tired of moping around, feeling sorry for yourself, and then that's when things start to kick in, and that's when you start to eventually start to feel better. And I feel like in the long run, it shortens up that time of you feeling down in the dumps.
That makes sense, man, and I appreciate that. It happens to all of us too. Thanks for being able to kind of connect with our audience the way that you did, my friend. You've done a lot of these. You had a nice time, my friend?
I had a great time. Yeah, thank you. It was real good experience.
Absolutely, my friend. And I'm going to talk to you, of course, off camera about some projects and stuff. Carlito, thanks so much for being here, my friend.
No, thank you, man. Appreciate it. Honest mine.
Much respect, man. Much respect to you, Carlito. Thank you so much. And thank you to Josh as well. Josh, my friend, any kind words or sage advice to our viewers, my friend? The floor is yours.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that in this day and age that we're living, people are either they're judging their value as a human off of other people's likes, comments, follows, and everything else. And so social media and the internet, it's affected, I think, the human psyche and everything so much, and kids especially, that don't know the life without it, without devices and social media, searching for acceptance through likes and everything else. At the end of the day, we as human beings, we've all been given incredible gifts. There's not a human being on this planet that doesn't have a gift, doesn't have something that makes them unique, special, and that they should be absolutely accepting of and proud of. So I just want to tell people that at the end of the day, whether you're focused on likes or none of that really matters. What matters is embracing who you are, embracing your gifts, realizing what you can give to the world, what you can offer to the world. And the world could be your neighbor, could be a classmate, it could be a coworker, it could be a family member or a friend that's down in the dumps. There's always something you can do to brighten someone else's day. And that makes you special in itself. The fact that we as human beings can affect others in a positive way, and especially in a day and age right now where unity's been an issue, everyone is so unique, and just being a sunshine, a ray of sunshine in someone else's day, any given day of the week, is a blessing.
So true. You can never measure your self-worth based on a metric or an emoji out
Correct.
there. That's so damn true, man. Hey, man, you had a nice time, my friend?
Man, what a pleasure, brother. I knew that it was going to be awesome because I know how uplifting you are, how you're such a unique and amazing individual. So I knew this was going to be fun, but it exceeded my expectations, and I can't thank you enough. This has been really cool.
You rock, my friend. I really appreciate you a ton. Josh Henderson, guys and gals and pals, thank you for joining us, my friend. We turn over to your audience right now. I will bring in our panel, and thank you for joining this latest episode of the TKN Celebrity.
Oh, man.
I like this one. It was very sweet.
It was just soulful.
Real quick to our audience, give Giselle and Howard your time and respect, my friends. Love your comments tonight throughout. Please give them the respect they deserve. They are here to not only break down that incredible match between Carlito and Josh Henderson, giving you their viewpoints. They're here live. They can answer your questions. So please don't go anywhere, because very soon we are going to call this a show, probably around the 2-hour mark. So that's coming up real soon. We're going to have an outro. If you missed the outro, you're going to miss the first opportunity of finding out who is next. But we need your votes right now. So don't wait for Howard. Don't wait for Giselle. They're going to give you their votes eventually. They're going to give you their thoughts right now based on the match they just saw. But what I want you to do is put in your votes. Let us know who you vote for and why. And remember, if this is a tie in the 11th hour, that is totally fine. That's acceptable. If there's a tie, that means both participants can move on to round number 2, which is currently going on now. But as you know, there are no ties in round number 2. So vote not just from your heart, but from your mind. Let us know why. And give it up to Giselle and Howard. Keep commenting, because that helps us. We will never charge you a dime, as we've shown. This is free. You want to pay us back? Don't. Not financially. What we want you to do is put in those comments, share, like, get your friends in here. It helps us out a great deal. And guys, where else are you going to see a Josh Henderson or a Carlito? How incredible. Carlito, guys and gals, if you're a wrestling fan, just left the WE a couple of months ago, and here he is now in TKN. How about that? Guys, Josh Henderson, Dallas, Desperate Housewives. The man has done it all at such a young age. Let us know who you vote for and why. Giselle and Howard, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you, Avi. Thank you for putting this together, for putting tonight together, because nowhere in my mind would I have ever been able to conceive Carlito and Josh Henderson on the same screen at the same time, answering these questions. it's surreal, unreal, and we get to experience it because of you, and it is beautiful each and every week. But there was something special about tonight, Howard. Wouldn't you agree?
I totally agree with you. They were talking about grandmas, they were talking about abuelas. Man, that it just
we've got our first vote in. Phil, topic 1 is voting for Josh. Thank you, Phil.
Thank you, Phil. I mean, that just
and topic 2. He's got his topic 2 up there too. He votes for Josh again. That is 2 for Josh already starting out. Thank you, Phil.
Nice, beautiful, coming in. Eric says, I vote for Josh based on his emotional intelligence, speaking about tearful moments. Beautiful. Thank you, Eric. Appreciate it.
That's Eric, can you please clarify topic 1 and topic 2? You need to vote on both topics. We need to know if that is the same person for both topics, if you have different people for each topic, who that is for, please. And thank you, Eric. Put that in the comments. So everybody out there in the comments, typing those votes in now. Let us know topic 1 and topic 2.
All right. We got Demand 33. I prefer Carlito's worldview. I love
what
his
night
choice.
Is it, Howard? Is it a Tuesday night?
It's a Saturday night.
Is it a Thursday night? It's a Saturday night. Move around. Shake it up. We are here live, guys. That's how we throw.
Woo-hoo! Woo! Ah, yes. Thank you, Avi. And Avi, amazing topics, buddy. Amazing topics. So Demand 33. I prefer Carlito's worldview. I loved his choice of Genghis Khan, but Josh was more detailed in his answer on Cleopatra and mental illness, as well as his story. So I believe he is voting for Mr. Josh. I believe that I'm not mistaken.
Yes, that was Josh for 1 and 2. Faded Fishing TV, Dakota. I missed some of the first topics, so I don't want to be biased. But for topic 2, Josh takes my vote, my heart, and my soul. What a beautiful speech. Awesome. And
Eric, topic number 2 is Carlito, and topic number 1 and 2. Okay. All right.
Awesome. Thank you. Power Store, topic number 2, Carlito. Thank you, Power Store.
Carlito folks coming in.
D-Man confirming Josh topics 1 and 2. Thank you so much for putting that back in. We are tallying everything in the back. It is happening. Classy times. They both had the best answers on topic 1 because Josh talked about Cleopatra. She was my favorite interest. And then Carlito topped it with his motivational answers. Very cool. Christopher Farnan, my vote goes to Josh for both topics. Joe is in there too, Howard.
All right, Joe. I vote for Josh for topic 2 and Carlito for topic 1! Exclamation point 1! Thank you.
Thank you. TKN for life, says Lester Gunk. Lester, thanks for being here tonight for watching TKN for life.
Thank you, Lester.
Power Store Inc. Topic 1. Josh, his answers of Jesus and Cleopatra was a great way to bring unity to the world. Thank you so much, Power Store.
Oh, we got Chad Dixon in the house. Hey, Chad, always awesome to have you. I vote for Josh in topic 1, but I vote Carlito in topic 2. I love that twist.
Awesome. Thank you, Josh. Willie Wilson. I enjoyed this, and I feel that Carlito showed a more human side than what I'm used to seeing if I'm in the ring. I vote Carlito. Awesome. Thank you for being here, Will. On both. On both. Thank you.
Sal got rhythm. He says topic 1, Carlito. Topic 2, Josh with a super flex right here. Thank you, Sal. Love it.
Phil is agreeing with Lester. TKN is the only way.
We got Faded Fishing TV. All right. We got D-Mon TKN is the way. Love it. All this TKN love coming right in. Love it.
Love it too. Yes. Thank you, Sal. We got your votes. They have been tallied. We have them in the back. If you have not voted yet, get them in there. Rizzo's reviews. Got to go Carlito myself. Thank you, Rizzo.
Thank you, Rizzo.
I met Rizzo when Carlito debuted in the WWE. How about that?
Whoa!
Within 10 minutes, we were talking about his debut. So there we go. Rizzo,
Whoa!
Going right back full circle.
Holy cow.
Now that's a cool story. I have to hear more about that at some point in time.
I definitely want to as well.
That was part of my hints, guys. The hint, by the way, give it up, everyone, to Chad. Chad wins. Chad got Carlito. Round of applause on screen for Chad and off screen for Chad as well. So some of the hints were, if you were able to predict that one of the mystery participants was Carlito. Giselle, please read out the hints that I provided.
Yes. For Carlito, for our WWE U.S. Intercontinental and Tag Team Champion, we had the hints Adam and Eve.
Adam and Eve, as in the apple. We know we always bite an apple. Adam and Eve, the apple. What else?
Nice, Ali. I love it.
We had Al.
Al
the name
Pacino,
Al.
Carlito's Way. Al Pacino.
There you go.
Nice.
Al Pacino.
Nice.
Yeah, starring he was Carlito. Who else? What else do we have?
And we had the word scent. S-C-E-N-T. Scent.
You guys didn't get that one? Scent?
Was he sexy? Did he smell?
No, hold down. This is a family show, Howard. Okay. I know Carlito said he was single, but listen, he's not interested. Trust me, Scent. If you're a wrestling fan, you'll know what it is. I'm not going to tell you what that was. But what about Josh? What were some of the hints I gave Josh?
Oh yeah, Josh was great. Josh was Mavericks. Housewives.
Right, Dallas. He starred in Dallas, and he's from Dallas. Housewives. He was in Desperate Housewives. And what's the third one?
Harry.
Scent of a Woman. Rizzo got it. Scent of a Woman. Al Pacino again. And there's another reason as well. Harry, guys. Did you get Harry? Harry and the Hendersons. Josh Henderson.
Ah, boom.
We're at 1787 watching live. Screenshot this, somebody. Somebody on screen. Howard, screenshot this.
I got it.
Screenshot it right now. Because we have 1787 watching live. Guys, thanks a bunch. We're averaging 6-figure views every single Saturday. Last week, you found out Matt TV is partnering up with TKN and Progresso Soup. What a combination that is. We're going to be hitting live events for the first time ever. How about that? Matt TV collaborating with TKN. We saw Ari Spears last week. We saw guys and gals Orlando Jones. And we also saw, of course, Brandy Stillwell. Matt TV partnering up with TKN. This tournament, it's just heating up. Round number 2 is nearing its final lap, but then there's round 3, 4, and beyond. Can't wait for this thing. I'm going to stay on screen because I want to find out now. Howard, who gets your vote and why? Starting with topic number 1. Go ahead.
Sure. Topic number 1. Right off the bat, I love it that, Josh talked about Cleopatra and he wanted to kind of see what, it was like for her to be a woman and live in that kind of world. And just bringing that up and that topic is really fascinating to me. He also brought up Jesus as well. And then topic number 1 for Carlito, let's see. So I'm going to actually side with Josh for topic 1. I thought that choice of Cleopatra was really, really, really fascinating to me.
Let's not forget how deep these two men went, because again, guys, I'm glad that they were acknowledging that they spent time on these topics. What you don't see is that they're spending a lot of time. Guys, this is a tournament. We're having fun, but this is a tournament. Everybody wants to win. They're not prompted. They're not paid. They do this for free because they love it. This is a tournament. And again, I have to interrupt you guys by reminding you that this is for the pride and the prize. People like what this tournament represents. And Josh Henderson and Carlito are competitors. Howard, Josh, Cleopatra. What about topic number 2, Howard?
Oh, first of all, great topic again. What's the soundtrack you would hear in heaven, and who's the person that you would meet? First of all, I just got to say that image of Josh as a little boy on his front porch listening to Tupac, Dear Mama, with his Mima. Oh, my God, man. I'm sure you guys at home are like, oh, my God. That really just, that broke.
Who doesn't want to have a Mima that raises the roof to Tupac?
Yeah. Oh, man. That was just beautiful. That was really beautiful. And Carlito's choice of a song was amazing. Welcome Home. And he talked about his mom, how much she is an anchor in his life. I'm going to go with Carlito. And the reason is I love the fact that when he talked about Welcome Home, that people would hear it in whatever language they spoke. And I thought that was really beautiful, that kind of, having that relationship to a song like that, and being able to hear it in different languages. There's a universal quality to that. So my vote goes to Carlito for topic 2, but both did amazing. And the way, Avi, you navigated the conversations in between, those are just, Avi, I love those. So
before we all to Saturday night, but not to get all deep here. But before we call it a life, it'd be great to know that we had as many conversations with as many people as humanly possible and learned as much as we possibly can. Because if we go to the afterlife, we're going to be in front of some big, big guns. We got Albert Einstein. We got George Washington. We got George Jefferson. we're going to be in front of a lot of interesting people. We have to pick up as much knowledge as we can, and we're getting that here in this tournament, right, Giselle?
We most certainly are. Every week there's a new combination of people. Most of the time it's a new trio, an amalgamation that we haven't seen before. And it's really lovely to watch everybody come together from all over the place and all over the globe and sit down and see what they've experienced and how that shaped them and how that's made them view the world the way they do and what we can all take away from that. And
yeah, takeaways, sure.
More often than not, I would say 99.9% of the time, we all realize what we have in common and where we have that in common. And maybe we're not all that different.
No, and I meant what I said. One of my hobbies is not knowing something. It's fun. Mm-hmm. It's fun to not know something and then learn a few minutes later from a fellow peer, from anyone really. I mean, you could learn. That's the great thing about having a glass half full approach to life. You can learn from people you don't even like, which is great. I think we put that in use and apply it. We kind of need that in 2025 right about now. Guys, let's read some of your comments before we bring in some in the back. We have our TKN host. We're all people. Yes, yes, Dakota, absolutely. Commonality, says D-Man. Yes, Josh had my heart. Great insights from Giselle. Without question, I agree. Strangers leave as friends. That's what happens over here while we have philosophical fun, provide endless edutainment. We're building quite a scrapbook here. I like that, Eric. I dig that a lot.
Yeah.
I love the part Carlito said about how it would be in different languages. Yes. Thank you, Chad, as well, guys. Give it up again for Chad. Great job. Chad is always on a roll predicting people. Chad knows. I don't know how. Chad is really good at this. Absolutely. What a collaboration, Bethany, indeed. Keep pumping up this comment section. And guys, comment when the outro is playing as well. We want to know that you're enjoying it. Allison voted for Josh and Carlito for topic 2 for that lead vote. Thank you, Allison. We appreciate you as well. Giselle, topic number 1. Who do you vote for and why?
Topic number 1. This was really fantastic. I loved this topic and I loved where they went. I love how very differently they've taken all of these topics each. And for the first topic, I am voting for Josh Henderson.
Okay.
He really gave a lot of detail as to why he wants to sit down with Cleopatra, what he wants to gain from that conversation,
right,
and how we can carry that into the future. So Josh Henderson has my vote for topic 1. Okay. And for topic 2, both were so heartfelt and really, really giving with their thoughts on this. I enjoyed how Carlito took this in a more rhetorical, philosophical direction.
Sure.
It hasn't happened yet, but what would I like it to be when it does happen? Because it will inevitably happen. And then he really cinched that with everyone hearing the song in their own language. So my vote is going to Carlito for topic 2.
Very cool, Carlito. Big shout out. Hey, just got a message from Sonny Ono celebrating a Texas softball fundraising event. Let me know about that, Sonny. Sonny's in round number 3, guys and gals and pals. We all know that we're still awaiting some big names in round number 2, guys, as we're nearing our final lap. His good friend Stevie Ray, Mark Henry, guys and gals, Sally, Jesse, Raphael, Jesse Ventura. Any of these names may be announced for next week's match up on TKN Saturday night. And you also find out what we got going on Wednesday night. We announced, guys, all of you will have your own show on Wednesday for your own little tournament, which I love. And by the way, guys and gals and pals, this little tournament might be something bigger. You never know. But it starts on Wednesday nights. It features all of you. Tournament of the Judges. First matchup. I promised you I would announce it. Let's announce it right now. Our first matchup.
Go.
This Wednesday night will feature Sebastian versus our very own Christine. Christine and Sebastian. You want to know the next matchup? You're going to have to tune in on Wednesday. There might be 2 matchups. There could be 1, although if there's only 1, It's because this man backstage is going to be finally confronting, and dare I say, no tricks, no chicanery, one-on-one. He'll finally be confronting, even though it won't be a match itself. He'll be confronting his one-on-one opponent in the TKN Saturday Night Celebrity Tournament, Hauser Odalok. Joe Rositano, welcome.
Oh.
Hello. Thank you very much, Avi Klein. I appreciate that.
You're looking forward to Wednesday night, I'm assuming.
Oh, yes. I may be in the dark, but I am in the light of my mind that I will be facing Hauser Odalok.
I like that. And David, you're part of this thing as well. Hauser Odalok and Joe Rositano going to get together. Sal, you're up. You're on deck. Really cool prize for the Tournament of the Judges. Chad, nice. I can't wait to see the first match of their tournament. Absolutely. Chad's waiting to see what happens with Miranda and Phil. He's been telling me he's got his money on Phil making a comeback. We'll see if that happens. She's up 3-0. Guys, again, I want to give it up to all of you, the engine that makes this thing go. In the comment section, Joe, you were there as well. Joe, if you can, as quickly as possible, but still, I want to give you the floor and the opportunity. How would you sum up tonight's match? Carlito, Josh Henderson, what were your thoughts?
Heartfelt and warm. Each person gave their own dissertation of what they thought this evening was to them, and I think that both brought a unique flavor that didn't dismiss the other's charm. I really liked that a lot.
Gotcha. Look at these comments here. Of course, we want to see Joe's baby Browns. Turn the light on, Joe, so we can see you. Turn that light on so we can see Joe. I'll do right now, guys. Joe Rositano's here live. Howard Carlito, and Giselle. And, of course, this Wednesday night, guys and gals, the Black Box will be live as always. Right now, guys, I think it's time to find out who advanced to round number 2 of the Celebrity Cup. Was it Carlito?
Ooh.
Was it Josh of the Hendersons? Little drum roll. It ain't going to happen in round number 2, but it will happen tonight. They both move on to round number 2. Josh Henderson and Carlito.
Yes.
We'll see them again. Yeah. And because, hey, how about this? Hey, if you wanted to join this tournament, and of course, a lot of people are knocking on this door, this late in round number 2, if you want to join the tournament and you're in the 11th hour match, or you want to bypass that and get to round number 2, means you're going to be down -12. Hey, congrats, because who's left? The big guns. That means you're going to be part of a match that has some of the biggest guns available. So more likely than not, Josh Henderson and Carlito are going to be part of a matchup featuring some of the biggest guns that we've yet to see in round number 2. And that's on purpose, guys and gals and pals. Everyone who's advanced, we've had some amazing, great names advancing in this tournament. If they're even in this tournament, it means they're a big name, but not just because of the resume. We've seen big names from the world of pro wrestling make it to round number 3 already. Rob Van Dam, Jake the Snake Roberts, Mick Foley, so many more in the world of comedy as well. Tommy Davidson comes off the top of my head, Larry Hankin. We've got a ton of people, guys and gals and pals, already in round number 3. This is going to be a wild one. I cannot wait to see exactly who we have next Saturday night. So stick around right now. We have Dakota in the back. Dakota, you're going to be part of this tournament of judges. Dakota, are you good to go? Let's see Dakota back there. Can you hear me? Give me a thumbs up, Dakota, if you can hear me. Dakota, thumbs up. Thumbs up if you can hear me. I don't think you can. It is awesome. It's getting hot. Keep commenting. Let your friends and family know, even those in the comment section you saw earlier. A lot are watching us. Tell them to still comment if they can. Dakota going once. Can you hear me, Dakota? Give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up. Nope. Okay. Guys and gals and pals, at the hour and 58-minute mark, we're going to find out who is going to compete in the most star-studded tournament of them all, the TKN Celebrity Tournament. We're going to find out right about now, because what time is it out, Howard?
It is outro time!
Obsession's going to be talent every time. You got all the talent in the world, but are you obsessed? Is it all you ever think about?
you're going to select an inspirational moment from your childhood of your choice. Now, this inspirational moment is going to be turned into a song.
But I think I'm going with Prince. Great entertainer, and that's kind of what I consider myself when I was doing gymnastics. I was more of an entertainer.
There is a captain, I can't remember the captain's name, Turkish. They found this map. It was a map of Antarctica. Go to the edge of the ocean or a lake, just a lake. Like go to the Great Lakes here in the United States. Any large, massive body of water and stand at the edge and just look out to the horizon. What do you see? Absolutely nothing.
People don't realize just how much TV time I've gotten over the years. Wrestling on TV is a commercial and you're a product.
You know, got to be open to listen, to hear, and to then come to conclusions. You know, how do we fit in? How do we affect society?
That was something special about that 78-79 team, is that you really were a family.
We really were. We were very close. We worked hard. We had terrific practices. Our practices sometimes were better than their games.
Everything Kevin Spacey said, every person, everything from the coffee that was on the bottom of the cup, where it was from, he was making that all up there, and it was total rubbish.
I'm from the era where we never had problems with giving props due. You know, a lot of the new age, you know, they'll be like, it's me, I. What happened before me was before me, and after me, there's nothing, it's me. And just to hear somebody as talented and great as Eminem give props to me, man, it's just an honor to be in the same field of work.
Trying to get this girl back and every bit of emotion, and it's so iconic, and that's why the scene has been parodied like 50, 70 times.
Yes.
That's why the scene is so
That's
iconic,
right.
because the music is so perfectly chosen, the way the beats play and the way the song picks up. Except that's the problem, is that we hold ourselves to such a high standard that very few people can attain. And this is what I learned in therapy, is you have to give yourself a break.
Learn how to compete with yourself, and it's all about passion. You have to find the right passion for yourself, because that makes you rich. That makes you unstoppable, because everybody wants to look at the other picture and have fantasy, but the thing is that you have to, all in your mind, you have to focus, you have to have that vision.
When I went down for the screen test, I knew I had this part, because when they saw my physique, my body, I was able to show different emotion without speaking, able to cry and everything.
My question to you, Sally, is do you think now in the 21st century, have we made progress, in your opinion, in that area?
Tremendous progress.
Okay.
And on all fronts, tremendous. It ain't there yet, not at 85 cents to the dollar, and not at the salaries that sportswomen are paid compared to men. We were the first to do a whole, the only show, because there was no open, the only show to do an awful lot of instructive women's issue, people's issue things.
Jerry Jones did a national way of getting to the press. He went to the press and established a trademark name, and then built his team and put his team in every market by using his money.
So many people have forgotten about the Iran crisis. So many people have forgotten about that because it happened so long ago.
Sure.
And that's why I love doing shows like this, because those kind of things should never die.
No, wrestling is not fake. It's predetermined. It's a difference. You know, we know what's going to happen. You have to. It's not governed by how mean you are, or how cunning, or how skilled you are. It's about, can you emotionally get people to believe in your ideal?
Not that they're not great matches, but everything with WWE, from the camera angle to the crispness in the ring, everything has to be. You can just see it. If you know what I'm saying. If you know what you're looking at, you can just see it.
We've got to stop killing each other. We've got to stop fighting each other. They find more ways to divide us through government and religion and every other thing you can think of. We've got just, war is an absolute indicator of whether a society is flourishing or not.
Not like I laughingly always tell people, I'm not a politician, I'm a statesman. And the difference is this: a politician makes it their career, where to me a statesman goes and serves. And when you're done serving, go back to the private sector and do something there for a few years.
Well, the key to harmonica, and I'm sure Doc can verify this, is you buy the harmonica and the key of the song.
Yeah, but then you can only play the same song for the rest of your life.
Well, then the way we covered it, we called it New Wave Harp.
New Wave Harp?
Yeah, because that way, no matter what it sounds like, you can cover it by calling it New Wave.
Clever idea.
I'm always thinking.
Yeah.
And at that time, in 2050, it'll be a complete different business. I guess AI will be taking over. The main event was 8 rounds, and then I was doing, and the semi-final was 8 6-minute rounds.
I was a state champion in high school in the high jump. I was a sprinter. And I played basketball, and that was my self-image. 2 years into college when I discovered acting and became fascinated by theater.
You best retrace your steps. That way history doesn't have to repeat itself.
I'm not leaving until you send one of your lap dogs up in that maze and bring back my Francis.
I'm going to select Tupac. Because Tupac, he was very inspirational to, you know, his people and trying to get them to do the right thing and move forward.
Here we go. Here we go. Sit up, sit close, sit close, sit up, sit close. Here we go. Next week. Here we go, guys. This is it. Once a week at this time. Find out who is next. What are the judges this Sunday? Next, Saturday night.
You saw him. I lost it.
Yeah, great.
Let me tell you.
crazy.
Wow. Final lap, guys. It's split economy. The names